The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is preseason games are in abundance Thursday, August 11th, 2022. This sports show begins now.
Here we go, Atta Baby.
Here we go, Atta Baby, to all of you for watching here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show or on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. The countdown is on.
What?
The shot clock. What? Anyways, it's a massive day. Let's go ahead and run through some things, okay? There's preseason games tonight, 2 of them. Are any star players playing? And a few teams, yes, and a few teams, no. We assume that this game will be shit, just like the Hall of Fame game was, but it's NFL football. Let's go ahead and watch. Let's also listen to the commentary team and the broadcast team because they're getting inside information that we're not able to get. They're able to have conversations with the coaches and the GMs that are at camp, their thoughts on who's doing what. And also, let's keep an eye on what veteran players are playing that we didn't expect to play because maybe they're on the move, a la Josh Jacobs with the Raiders. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady's not in training camp for at least the next, I think, 9 days. I believe 9 days he will not be at training camp. We have no idea what it is, what has happened. Tom, we hope everything's okay, pal. We're happy you came back and played at the age of 45. Obviously already established has to go, but didn't want to go out that way. We felt kind of forced to retire, it felt like. Then he comes back before free agency opens, brings back the boys. Let's do another run. He has $375 million waiting for him, allegedly via Fox Sports for being an ambassador of the game and a commentator of the game. Now, middle of training camp, pretty deep into training camp, pretty meaningful part of training camp. Tom Brady has stepped away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for at least the next 9 days, and Todd Bowles has said, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he has said he's hopeful or assumes or probable, one of those words, that Tom will be back by week 1. Week 1? That's like 3.
I hope
what
so.
The hell
Talking about
what is going on? Is everything okay? We have no idea. We hope everything's cool. Good luck to Tom. That means Blaine Gabbert, the OG, the veteran, will be stepping in to be the starter here for at least the next few days of training camp. There's videos already surfacing of Julio Jones appearing to be fucking Julio Jones.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Ian Rappaport, who's down at their practices in hour 2. Hour 3, we'll talk to A.Q. Shipley, former coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, also friends with a lot of people down there. What's he hearing? Robert Hainsey, the new center, after Jensen got hurt, trained with A.Q. all offseason. He got carted off practice field yesterday, had cramps. No big deal.
Okay.
Actually had a great day. He's doing perfectly fine. So right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, although they have lost All-Pro Ryan Jensen, center, early in training camp, absolute bummer. They got past that. Bring in Robert Hainsey. Who knows how he's going to do out of Notre Dame, but that seems to be one storyline kind of put to bed until it comes alive. Now Tom's done a practice, and they're in the middle of joint practices with the Miami Dolphins right now. Very meaningful practices. These are some of the most important practices of training camp because you've heard basically everybody in the NFL that has any knowledge of the game say the preseason games used to be much more important. Now, controlled practices, controlled environments, we don't get anybody hurt. It's the joint practices that have appeared to be the most valuable part to everybody's training camp. Back in the day, just a couple teams would do it. Some team would have a connection with another team. They'd go have joint practices. And to be honest, a lot of us around the locker rooms and the other place would be like, why the fuck would you ever want to practice with anybody? So you're telling me I'm going to have to go harder. There's going to be much more physicality. It's going to be longer. And we're showcasing other guys. And there was kind of a negative thought on it. I think other coaches were like, oh, we're going to let another team in here and watch us how we train. We're going to let them see how our practices go, see where our team is developed at. There was a lot of negativity around the thought of joint practices. Then as the years rolled on, just like the preseason games have kind of become less important, joint practices have become much more of a thing. Joint practices happen all the time now, and joint practices, I think, are viewed by all parties, including the fans, as fucking awesome because the coaches love it and the evaluators love it because they have a preseason game every single day, basically. They can set up different drills to really I don't want to say focus on, but a part of your roster you're trying to figure out, you can ask the other team, like, hey, can we do one-on-ones, offensive line, defensive line? Yeah. We are weak in the offensive line department. We'd like to watch some of your guys that you have at the bottom of your roster. And that team potentially could be like, yeah, we need some D linemen as well. So it almost becomes like a gift for the evaluators. Now, for the players, it's more opportunity because it's two teams looking at you as opposed to just one. In the reps in practice that maybe you weren't able to get in preseason games, in the situations in practice that you are dominant in, maybe doesn't pop up in a preseason game whenever you're on the field. So it's definitely that. These practices are fucking hard, though. Oh, yeah. It is. You're talking normally, guys are going hard because they're trying to get jobs. Okay, there's no sidetracking that. But when you're competing against another player from another team, everything is just picked up and amplified. So now a lot of guys you hear them talk about, yeah, it's like we have 4 preseason games, and then we get off for the actual preseason game that's on TV. So Tom stepping away during these joint practices, certainly surprising. We hope everything's okay. Now, next week, the Detroit Lions will be traveling to Indianapolis for the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts and Lions will be joint practicing. Obviously, that means Hard Knocks will be there. Obviously, that means Deuce Staley will be there. And obviously, that means MCDC's going to be there, man.
Hell yeah.
I cannot wait. We will be on location up there at Colts practice, I think on Wednesday, which is the 17th, I do believe. We'll be up there. I think all parties are trying to get MCDC on the show.
Oh, please.
Let's go.
Please.
All parties. They will be practicing while we are live. We believe practice will be right behind us. We will still be doing a show, but we will have a camera on practice a la like we're NFL Network.
Okay, awesome.
So we will be able to zoom in, I believe, on certain plays and things, give play-by-play. While also doing interviews with people. FaceTimes will still be available. So we're going to try to make the most of it. And big shout out to the Indianapolis Colts for being like, what do you need to broadcast from here? And how can we help you? And Colts, we appreciate the hell out of that because there's no way with the Thunderdome being built right now, with all the tech we're trying to figure out, Zito having to do what he does, and then also Zito going to set that whole thing up, we run a little lean here. This company is a small business, always will be. Hiring, I think, is a very important part of the process. You bring in one turd, your entire company can fucking go down. And what we have here, we try to bottle. I wish we could bottle and save forever. The energy, the mindset, the thing. You guys are fucking awesome. With that being said, it limits us to a lot of things. So the Colts have said, hey, what do you need us to do? We'll do it. We'll be at joint practices next week. Can't wait to see the vibe of that whole thing. Matt Ryan's a dog. Yeah. Iowa's got a pitcher that is just dealing right now. And life is good here in the sports talk world. The Talks the Tables here looking fantastic at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Little League World Series. Is this fucking, this is a big deal for the baseball community, I assume?
Yeah, I think so. And we kind of talked about
I'm just getting into the baseball community.
Right. Yeah, I know. Edwin Diaz, you know, like we can do the whole song and dance again, but no.
Him hitting the outfield with a rehearsed, like, the time. This, you know, that's a clear, anybody that knows wrestling, you come through the curtain, you make sure everybody can see you because the people are going to be sitting far away, you're small. How could you not love that? Are you not thinking about leaving the Yankees and coming to the Mets?
With
that fucking guy?
Yeah. Not a chance.
Are you serious?
Not a chance.
How about the whole fans? Like, there's a big fat white back having the time of his life with his kid.
Yeah. When
like,
you're
that
winning,
doesn't
it's
happen.
fun.
That doesn't happen in a lot of situations anymore. Everybody's guarded. You know, everybody's like scared to do anything. Most of these teams and shit like that are terrible in-game experience because they're trying to cater to children, little tiny children. And not that isn't, but them just being like, yeah, this is a fucking lit place. Lady City Field, dude. I mean, I don't know how you don't want to be a fan, but nonetheless, you're a Yankees fan your entire life. I'm new to the baseball world. A Little League World Series, big to the baseball community?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially if you watch baseball, you're probably watching the Little League World Series because, like we talked about, outside of the preseason, there is nothing going on. I mean, the MLS All-Star game was last night.
Oh, hey, MLS won, by the way.
Yeah,
it's our sport now. Sorry about it. We are going to win the soccer Lombardi in Qatar as well. It's been fun to watch that Little League World Series.
For sure.
And Iowa seems to have a little bit of a squad out there. At Tone Diggs from my hometown in Pittsburgh, we never really got in the Little League World Series, right?
No, I don't know how it works.
Me neither. I come out here to Indiana, there's fucking signs like this town's team has been to Little League World Series like 5 years out of the last 10.
We definitely had teams that probably would have been good enough, but I think you have to like pay to qualify and stuff like that. I could be.
Oh, you're saying it's a big yup event?
No,
pay to play?
Is this a big yup event? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I am speaking out of my ass.
Well, you never do that. Never ever do that. Joining us now is a man that never speaks out of his ass. You know, everything comes out of this guy's mouth is real because this motherfucker is the man. Not only is he a two-time Super Bowl champ, Hall of Fame definite, Like, not even a single question. He's also making the world a lot better place. Just this past week, there was a Vaughn's Vision Reveal Day in Buffalo, his first time there, and they were giving away free glasses to kids. And Buffalo obviously turned out for anything that's happening with the Bills, but Vaughn has showed up for the Buffalo Bills Mafia as well, giving away glasses, I think, to hundreds of kids. I mean, it is just amazing what impact an NFL player can have, especially if they buy in on the fact that they're an NFL superstar. This man is certainly that. Newest member of the Buffalo Bills, absolute stallion and champion off the edge. Ladies and gentlemen, Von Miller.
Yeah!
What's up, dude?
Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. I've been a huge fan of you guys, been a huge fan of the show, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
Well, I appreciate you for joining us because, I mean, there was a time I think you were supposed to join us when you were a Bronco, and I had to cancel because I wasn't there. Then there was a time you were supposed to join us as a Ram, and it was another situation where I wasn't able to do it, so we had to reschedule. Now you're a Buffalo Bill, two-time Super Bowl champ. We appreciate you for making it.
Hell yeah. Hey, I appreciate you guys for having me, man. This is dope.
Okay, so I don't want to go backwards too much because I just kind of did there. But am I getting the story right? Whenever you left Denver, you did not know about that? I thought that was all fake. Is that real? You did not know that? And then you went...
I didn't know. I came into the facility. I was injured. I had missed the game before, so I had to come to the facility early. I was getting treatment on my ankle like you usually do. And, the head trainer, Vince Garcia, he came to me. And he said, George wants to talk to you upstairs. And I've been in the league 11 years, so I'm like, dang.
And a guy.
If the GM wanted to talk to me, he would usually come down and talk to me. But he asking me to go upstairs a day before the trade deadline. So I was like, man, it's going to happen. And it felt like I was going to the principal's office. I went up there, I sat with George Payton. He asked me about my ankle, then he hit me with the news.
Hey, you're going to L.A., bud. Hope the ankle's fine. I mean, really, we ain't ever going to find out because you're on a plane to Los Angeles right now, and you handled it very professionally, right? I think you acknowledged that it came out of nowhere, but you had nothing but respect for the Broncos organization when a lot of guys could go a different way. 11 years in, OG, very good, getting traded out of nowhere, kind of disrespectful the way I viewed it, but you viewed it differently. You end up in L.A. Obviously, magic happens. Your contract is up, you go into free agency, and then we read that you sign a $755 million deal to go to the Buffalo Bills, and we were so happy for you, dude. This late into your career, still showing that you're a guy, getting paid again. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
You deserve it. But what was it about Buffalo that got you excited, aside from the contract? But that team, you're the missing piece is what everybody's saying. Is that the feeling, and is that what Brandon Beane said to you?
I'm a fan of football in general, and I'm a fan of players. I'm a fan of schemes. Eventually I want to be a GM. One day that's like my goal to be a GM. And I saw what the Bills had been doing for a long time. I saw the team that they were building. I saw that they had a lot of big time players, and they were just right on the edge. So when my agent started talking to me about the Bills being interested, it kind of caught my attention. I wanted to go back to LA. I loved LA. I loved Coach McVay and Aaron Donald and Les Snead and all the guys. It was perfect. That was the easy, route for me to just go back to LA and just ride off into the sunset. But, I felt like I still had more. I feel like I still had more to accomplish in my career. And the Bills, it took me a second. It took me a second to really just, iron it out. But I feel like, the Bills was the right decision for me. To come up here, I'm a pass rusher. We had a lead. We're playing in cold games. People don't like to play in cold games. I have a little bit of advantage. And, the more and more I started to think about it, even though it was the hard road to take, I felt like this was the right road for me.
Hell yeah. And I think we're going to look back on it as a brilliant decision. And, I mean, there's a lot that you just said. You wanting to be a general manager is awesome to think about. What was it about a team you think that makes them good now that you've been a part of multiple great organizations? And what have you learned about the inside of that locker room in Buffalo that you'll take into your GM ship that Brandon Beane has kind of put together?
First and foremost, you got to have a guy at quarterback. You can win games with defense. You can stay in games. You can win 10 games. Without a quarterback, you can have a successful team. But to go there and win the whole thing, you need a guy at quarterback. And we have one of the best quarterbacks in the league with Josh Allen. He's still trending upwards. This defense is great. Defense wins championships. That is 100%. And they had the number one defense last year without me. So I felt like, they had been building a team. They got a crazy offense, receivers, running backs, offensive line is stout, defense is stout. Now, all it was missing was a guy that could rush the passer. And, I just felt like it was the the right choice for me.
It sounds like every time we chat with anybody from the Bills organization, they hang out a lot. Now, Poyer's come on numerous times. We hope he's okay. By the way, I don't know if I've kept up with the injury update. The two safeties got hurt early. They said they'll be fine. He talked about how Buffalo, like, honestly, it ain't real shit to do. You know, like it gets a little cold. He said, so they hang out in there a lot. A lot of cards being played. The team seems to be very tight. I think that is a huge piece of successful teams. The teams that I've been on that have been good, they get along. The teams that I've been on that are bad, nobody gets along. And now, did winning bring the relationships, or did the relationships bring the success? That's a question I guess psychologists can look into. But honestly, I think a team getting along is a big deal. And it's been in the news before, but I think it's very well known. I think it's a good thing. You've hosted parties in past places where everybody comes. Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody's at that thing. How big is camaraderie, Vaughn, for a team to be successful? And what do you feel up there, and how has the adaptation to that locker room been in Buffalo?
You know, camaraderie is everything, especially in football. You know, in basketball, you can go without it. You know, baseball, you can survive without it. But football is such a rah-rah sport. You know, you're out there on the field, and you're literally putting your neck and your livelihood on the line for these guys. And if the guy next to you don't feel like that you love him, or vice versa, man, it's hard to bring the most out of these guys. And whenever you're playing for something bigger than yourself, that's when you get the most, you know, out of your team. And you know, these guys, it has a college vibe. It feels like Texas A&M when I was there, and that's where I really found myself, and now I thrive in those type of environments. I mean, I thrive in LA, in the big city too, but you know, I feel like I'm at home in the locker room and just these college type of environments. And you know, there's nothing else to do, like you say here, but hang out. You know, I know all the guys on the team. I know about their kids. I know where they come from. I know what makes them go. You know, and you have to have those type of relationships to get the most out of these guys.
We're talking to Von Miller, two-time Super Bowl champ, newest member of the Buffalo Bills. You know, his Buffalo bar is open till like 4:35 a.m. You don't know that? Yeah, I don't know if you know that. I've had a couple good nights. So whenever we say there's nothing to do, we're not chatting about Buffalo not being a great city. It is. But compared to other places, there's events every night in some cities that you can potentially get caught up in. Buffalo doesn't have that, but they have a team. Hey, this Bills Mafia, I guess you got a chance to feel them a little bit at training camp and then at your Von's Vision event. I've heard this fan base is different. Have you experienced that at all?
It's definitely different. I've been a part of a lot of great fan bases. You know, Denver Broncos has a great fan base. Broncos country is wild. I love Broncos country.
Let's ride.
They supported me. They supported me for 10.5 years and then some. Even now, you know, Rams Nation is incredible too. The Ramley, you know, they show up and they show off for the Rams as well. And you know, the Buffalo Bills fans are great, but it's just different. It's just different here. These guys, you know, they live and breathe football. You know, like you said, there's nothing else to do here. You know, they had success. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost it, and it kind of creates this this togetherness in the community. And they really want to see guys win. They really care about guys here, and it's special to be a part of it.
You talked about Josh Allen. He's a big son of a bitch, isn't he? I mean, he's big, Vaughn. What do you think it is that separates him? Now, you said trending upwards, which we have seen since the beginning of his career. Each year he goes into his offseason, he comes back a brand new quarterback. It's like, literally, it's just been happening and happening. Seeing him up close, what do you think makes him special? What do you think separates him maybe from some others?
You know, every quarterback in the National Football League has been the guy at some point in time. You know, whether they were the guy in college or whether they were the guy in high school, all of these guys have skill. All these guys can make the throws, you know, or they wouldn't be here. And, you know, Josh is no different. But I feel like the thing that sets him apart is the mindset. And you see guys come in to the league and, you know, sometimes games would be too big for guys or, you know, the defense would be too good and, you know, guys kind of fold. Josh, he doesn't have that. He just doesn't have that trait, you know, whether it's a mountain that he has to climb, he's going to climb it. Whether it's just a river that he has to jump across, he's going to do it. He just has this winner and this winner mentality about him and this light about him. And it's special to see. I've been around a lot of great quarterbacks. I've been around Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, Matthew Stafford. You know, I've been around a lot of great quarterbacks. Tim Tebow was a great quarterback, great leader. And Josh Allen is a great leader. Honestly, he really doesn't take anything too serious. Like, he doesn't take anything too serious. He's confident in his arm. He's confident in his team. You know, it's never too big for him. And he's just a great guy to be around. I really can't talk I really could talk all day about the guy, man. He's a huge part of the reason why I came here.
I like there's no mountain too tall, no river too wide to jump. You're a country boy, huh? Full go.
Yes, sir.
Still in off season still or no? Or have you go back home? What do you have? Bunch
Yeah,
of
I go back to Dallas. I try to go back to Dallas as much as possible. I'm a Texas boy, through and through. I grew up in Dallas, Texas. Played Texas high school football. Went to Texas A&M where we played real football there. And I've been in the National Football League after that for 12 years. So.
Well, if Jimbo keeps cheating, I guess. I guess that's the only way. But you got a bunch of land. Is that what you do what do you do in off time, downtime? Hunt, fish?
I love to hunt. I love to fish. I love to play golf. I got a chicken farm in Texas. It's in Elgin, Texas, on 33 acres. It's pasture raised, humanely raised, non-GMO, and we just got a great product. Our birds are natural, happy birds, and they only really have one bad day. So I feel like you can taste. I feel like you can taste it at the end result. Of course, I'm gonna be biased. When I say my chicken is different, but honestly, when you taste it, you can really taste the happiness in it.
You're going to be a chicken farmer and a fucking GM in the NFL at one point?
Yes, sir.
The boys have some questions for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's cool.
Go ahead, Ty.
Vaughn, we've seen a lot recently on social media, you and Odell kind of going back and forth. Is that basically a done deal? I mean, do you already have his locker, next year's in the Buffalo locker room, or what's going on there?
I have an open locker right next to me. Odell is my guy. I don't have too many friends like outside of football. Of course, I have colleagues that I'm familiar with, but Odell is one of my good buddies. I've been knowing him for a long time, over 6-7 years. He's trying to work through some stuff right now, trying to get back healthy. But the door is open for him to come to the Buffalo Bills. I know Odell loves to win. Everybody loves to win. We got a winning team, and him being here would really, just put the icing on the cake and put us over the top. And playing in the league 6, 7, 8, 9 years, man, and you win a Super Bowl, it creates this addiction. And I know he felt it, and I know he wants to get back there. I felt it twice, and I want to get back there. And he knows this is the path to go. The Buffalo Bills, they've been on the brink for a very long time, and he could be that last little drop, just like myself, to get us over the top and go back to football heaven.
So how long have you known OBJ and been friends with him off the field? Because there's a lot of terrible shit that was said about OBJ when he left New York, whenever he was in Cleveland, and then he goes to LA and he's like, 2 touchdowns first game. Boom, 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 boom. How you doing? Keep it moving. Would have won the Super Bowl MVP. I think we can all agree on if he didn't have the unfortunate injury. As a fan from the outside looking in, not knowing him that well, great to see that happen when he went to LA. Is he, if he was to go to Buffalo, that's no problem, right? Everybody thought LA would be the thing. Him going to Buffalo, OBJ does not care about that type of shit, right? It's just about.
No, I think he cares about winning at this point in his career, and he cares about people. He cares about being loved, and just like any other pro athlete, you want to be loved where you go. And Bills Mafia is going to embrace him with open arms. We're going to feed him the ball. We're going to make sure Josh Allen is just going to add to another weapon. You got Diggs, you got Isaiah, you got Gabe Davis, and Odell Beckham, and plus all of the guys that's helping out as well. Man, that could really put us over the top.
Yeah, OBJ, you can go to the Colts, too.
Yeah,
sure.
Packers.
If you want, just, I don't have a locker for you. Vaughn does.
I think OBJ, he wants to win. I don't think he just want to go play football.
Oh, shit. Watch your mouth. All right, I'll start a chicken farm fucking tomorrow. All right, I'll start attacking your contract. What do you have, Tone?
Vaughn, you guys were talking about Bills Mafia. I know you weren't completely thrilled with the toilet paper in the dorms, and Bills Mafia sent you a fuck ton of toilet paper.
Was it single ply? Did you have single ply at that place?
No, I think whenever I talk to the media, whenever I sit down, I try to, I've been on the other side. I've been on the other side and worked with the media, and I see how hard it is to really get content out of players. So when I'm back over here as a professional athlete, I just try to open up and talk to these guys and just be as open as I possibly can. And I think when I was being open about the dorms, it kind of came off the wrong way. I didn't want to come across as ungrateful. I love being in the dorms. I love being around people, but I was just being open. And I said, I'm 33 years old. I haven't been in a dorm room since college. And I was just being open with the media, just trying to give them content to work with. And, I talked about the toilet paper, how the toilet paper was different. Bills Mafia being Bills Mafia. They saw that and they just went crazy.
Get this guy some Bonnie.
All types of toilet paper. Wipes, plant-based wipes, and that was really the start of me falling in love with Bills Mafia, because they say it's a special place. I said one thing about toilet paper, and they just flooded the whole thing with toilet paper. Man, it was great.
They donated how much money? Andy Dalton's.
Yeah, when Dalton beat someone so they could get in the playoffs.
Ravens for the Bills to go.
In increments, whatever, of $50,000. Yeah. The Bills Mafia is all. Anytime we talk Buffalo Bills, the Bills Mafia on the internet is just runs that thing. And I think it's great that there's still a chip on the shoulder feel for the team. 0 Pro Bowlers on that defense last year. You know what I mean? 0 Pro Bowlers. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the Buffalo Bills, rightfully so, still have the chip on their shoulder, but Super Bowl favorites at the same time? What do you think it is, Vaughn?
I don't know how you could have the number 1 defense in all 5 categories and not have Pro Bowlers on that defense.
Well, we could dive into the Pro Bowl voting process if we wanted to, Vaughn. And then
that's a little different, but that's another story for another day. This team is great, man. From corner to corner, linebacker to linebacker, end to end, tackle to tackle, man. We have a solid defense, safety to safety. Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, man. I've always had safeties in the secondary whenever I played back in, my Denver days with Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson and the no-fly zone, and with the Rams, Jalen Ramsey. I've always had a great secondary behind me. And, this team is no different, man. From corner to corner, man, we're stacked, man. We got a solid defense, solid coaching staff, man. These are some of the best coaches that I've been a part of. I've been blessed to always have great coaches that really cared about the team, man. And this year is no different. These 3 teams that I went to, I've always had great coaches, great teammates around me, man. And this team is no different, man. I don't know why. I just don't know why. We had the number 1 defense last year and no Pro Bowlers, man. And I think the chip on the shoulder really comes from the community, and I think it just stems back from the days in the '90s where everybody, went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost it. And I think this organization and this community is just hungry for it, and I think that's where the chip comes from.
Hell yeah. Vaughn, you have played in the NFL long enough now to see the complete evolution of the game, right? Now, when you talked about Tebow being a great leader, you guys were winning games like 9-3, I think, in those. And your defense had to shut everybody down. Expected to not give up 14, 17 points. Now it feels like the NFL is, if you don't give up 24, 21, that's a good thing. Was that a mental shift that you had to make? That's just how the game is? And do you see that to be a fact the way I just described it?
Oh, you always gotta evolve. They pay these head coaches and these offensive coordinators. They pay them a lot of money. They pay these offensive linemen a lot of money, quarterbacks. It's a game that's constantly getting more and more competitive, and it's constantly evolving. And you just gotta go with it. I'm a pass rusher. I just try to do my job for my teammates. I try to be a coach's dream. Whatever they tell me to do, I try to go out there and do it. I preach being coachable and not making the same mistake more than 2 or 3 times, because I'm gonna make mistakes. Where you want to go out there and you want to go out there and do your job for your team, and they're gonna score points. But at the end of the day, we want to come on top. And 2015, we won 9 games within 3 points or less. We had Peyton Manning, Hall of Fame quarterback, defense, one of the best defenses in NFL history, and we won 9 games within 3 points or less. Ended up going to the playoffs. We had a tough game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That could have easily went the other way. Bradley Roby knocks the ball out. We get the ball and go down and kick a field goal to win the game. We play the New England Patriots the next week, and it's a dogfight all the way to the end. It goes down to a 2-point conversion where he throws the ball to Gronkowski, and they tip it out, and we win the game. We go to the Super Bowl. We had the momentum for the most part. Carolina started coming back, and it came down to the end of the game.
Wow.
So you always have to be able to play solid defense. You always got to depend on your defense. Of course, quarterbacks is going to make the thing go, but you always have to have solid defense. And here with the Buffalo Bills, we expect to play solid defense.
Well, you can even go with how the Super Bowl ended last year, too. And I think that was an awesome answer that you just gave, by the way. Basically saying, yeah, offense matters, but here is 3 exact moments that have affected my life and made it better. You're incredible at this, Vaughn. I can't wait to see what you end up doing after football. Last question here, Connor.
Yeah, Vaughn, it's being reported this morning, actually, that officials might be easing up a little bit on roughing the passer this year. Is that just like music to your ears? And how long have you guys been waiting for that to happen?
I've changed my game about 6 years ago, and it's not really about the big hits for me. I'm going for the ball. Every time I'm back there, I just get laser vision on this ball. And I think the biggest play for a defensive player is sack. For me as a pass rusher, sack, forced fumble, fumble recovery, touchdown. And whenever I get there, that's what I'm going for. I'm trying to rip the ball out, run with it, trying to rip the ball out, get the ball back to my offense. We have a solid offense here, so if we can get them any type of short field position, we're going to capitalize on that. And that's where my mindset is at. And it doesn't matter if it's they increase roughing the passer calls or decrease them. I'm going for the ball each and every time, and that saves me.
You just gave a competitive advantage to everybody else. Von Miller's not trying to hurt quarterbacks. He's trying to get the ball out. You've done an incredible job with that. You've done an incredible job in your NFL career being a leader, being a teammate. I don't think I've ever heard a single person that's ever played alongside you that didn't love you, man. That's a hell of a compliment, and I think you should know that. And we appreciate you stopping by. Good luck the rest of camp.
Man, I appreciate you guys for having me, man. It's a great show. I've been a fan for a long time, and it's good to see former players go out and have success just like you've had. I appreciate you guys. Brandon McManus with the Denver Broncos is one of my best friends, man. He raves about you, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys do an incredible job, man, and I wish you more success as well.
Brandon, he hit that in 15, that kick that you're talking about whenever he went back to different direction. Incredibly impressive. Huge leg, cool dude. He also has those apes. The bored apes. Yeah, hey, let's run that up, right? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, perennial All-Pro, Von Miller. Thank you. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's going to be whatever the fuck he wants to be.
Need to try that chicken.
Oh, yeah.
They only have one bad day in their life, man. And they don't even know it. So, I mean, it's a whole thing. I have a couple friends that are chicken farmers. That's not necessarily the most glorious life.
I doubt it.
That's why I said you're going to be a general manager in the NFL and a chicken farmer on the other side. Yes, sir. I don't know if anybody's ever done that.
No.
I think those are two very different type of humans. But the fact that Von Miller has been able to accomplish so much and still, remain in his roots while being a great teammate and fully invested, unbelievable. The NFL should be pumped that they have him. And I think Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia certainly are as well. All right, we're going to get to a break. We'll be back in 4. Shout out to Vaughn for joining us.
Yep.
Gotta do it.
Cue up the band.
I think so.
Oh, I think
that
that's what it was.
That helped.
We getting plugged
Yep.
in.
There it is.
Yep.
Perfect.
Got it. Oh. Nope. Good.
Good.
There it is.
It was the red wire. You got to cut the red wire.
Ground wire.
What?
All right. All right.
How we know?
I guess. Still.
Okay. Yep.
That was part of the song.
Yeah, that's right.
We put a static song on. I guess there's cars that are easily hot wired these days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw that fucking trend. Here we go.
What happened? I missed
Well,
it.
that's why I felt like I was doing there, but kids are actually doing that to cars.
That's awesome.
I think it's the vastly superior machines, kid.
That's the problem with Kias. Kias, all right, listen, got nothing but respect for them. They're very nice cars. But they price them at a price, like the people that are driving those should not have the power that those Kias have.
Right.
Like that, Tim McAfee driving a Kia, it like looks real nice and then it shows up next to it and it's like, hey, get the fuck off the road. Like Kia has a little blue collar in the middle of its luxury. And I respect and appreciate that. But they should have focused a little bit. Like the blue collar people are gonna be able to figure out how to fucking
Oh, yeah.
hey, we're gonna
this
be able
thing
to
going.
work this thing.
Big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, and I guess that has happened.
Damn.
I forget who did the joke. Somebody from Bob and Tom, and I apologize for it, but when you put 2-star people in a 5-star hotel, things happen.
Exactly.
And it feels like, the Kia was like 3 to 4-star people in like a 7-star car.
Yep.
And the 3 to 4-star people are going to have knowledge of things that the 7-star folks are not.
Yeah.
Especially if it's just, we just got to plop this off and then literally just, okay, so we can go steal everybody else's Kia.
Here we go.
That's what we can do.
Get some fake plates.
And I'm only saying that because I am, by the way, from said stars.
Sure. Of course.
That are making the moves. And I'm just talking about my friends that are probably a part of this trend, if I had to guess. Go ahead, Zito.
One time, my old Kia, my keys started another Kia's car.
See?
That's a problem.
Yeah, I believe that.
Kias are nice vehicles, though.
I drove 2
Oh, yeah.
blocks with a baby carriage in the back, and I was like, that's not mine.
Okay.
Holy shit.
All right, so Zito did
realize you
also
worked.
just go out in somebody else's car and had no idea.
Could you imagine?
So, Connie, what goes back to the...
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No offense, Zito. I think
thank
you
you.
come similar human as me.
Oh, yeah.
Put a 3 to 4-star person
Oh, yeah.
in a 7-star car.
Stuff's
They're
gonna
going to
happen.
potentially just drive another...
Yeah.
Just drive somebody else's car.
Acquire a baby.
Yes.
That lady was not happy getting into Zito's car, too. We know that.
No way. She got that.
Bags of McDonald's to it back.
What,
Yeah.
McDonald's shoes
What did-
sitting in the back.
McDonald's
I
is
have-
the least of her fucking work.
Yeah, except when there's 15 filet-o-fishes on the
Hey,
ground.
we're stopping that. Zito doesn't do that anymore. He's
No, he
fucking-
doesn't.
Hey,
That's
Zito.
right. That was years ago.
I was talking about the smell, but
Oh, come on.
Jeez.
Yeah, so, yeah.
It was
Anyways,
touched, Tony. It was touched.
stop Stop robbing cars, kids.
Come on.
Yep.
No, it's the same.
Give it up.
I assume somebody that watches our show has been a part of this trend.
At least gonna try it.
At least.
No more GTA.
Thanks a
like-
lot, Fortnite.
We're back in 4.
TikTok, actually.
Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto.
They're all
People
they're
want the
all
new
same.
goddamn game because that's why they're doing this.
So listen, if you don't give it to us,
We're gonna keep doing this in real life, and
people
everyone's
are fiending. GTA hasn't been out in like, what, 2 years?
Oh no,
like 10.
7? Yeah, 10.
What was the one you guys were playing just a couple years ago?
That's what they just keep
Shock,
updating the
shock.
online stuff.
Because they still make so much money off of it because of how great of a game it is.
Because people just want to go do hood rat shit with their friends.
Bingo.
And you don't let them do it on the internet, they're going to do it in real life.
That's right.
Especially if Kia says, if you just kind of open a glove compartment and just accidentally touch something, yeah, it'll just start the
take a
car right
joyride.
up. Just
Don't worry.
back and forth, dumbest show of all time. There's NFL people that watch that Von Miller interview, like, oh, good interview. And then we immediately go right into Kia's getting hot one.
What are they going to talk about next?
Well, there's a lot of shit, actually. Matt Ryan's a dog.
Well,
Dog.
actually, I'm hearing from Vaughn something else, but
What's that, pal?
it was fun about him saying, Odell wants to win. He's not going to Indianapolis.
All right, listen, let's not make a big scene out of that because somebody will make a headline out of that around here in Indianapolis. Von Miller takes big shot, and then
Yeah.
it was him clearly just talking shit directly to me.
Well,
See, you're the problem.
it feels like the vibe in the whole NFL almost.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the problem.
You're a part of the
No
problem.
one wants to play for
Mute
Indy.
his mic. Mute his mic. Patriots are dead.
Come on.
Patriots are absolute. Yeah, that's what
Nope,
I thought.
Patriots are dead.
I said Patriots are dead, dude. We are back in 4 minutes. Myself, Ty Schmidt, and Tone Diggs will be talking. Patriots are dead. He muted Ty's as well.
so dead.
Sorry. All right. We're back in 4. It's the Pat McAfee Show. It's a solid show, really. Today's a massive day. We made a groundbreaking, trailblazing announcement with NFL Films in the NFL as a whole. We have officially partnered with the NFL and NFL Films for live rights and a weekly mic'd up feature that'll hopefully change the game a bit. It was announced today on the show as such. This upcoming season, with our partnership with the incredible folks at NFL Films, we will have NFL footage rights for the show every single day. I think this is one of the first times that something like what we run has teamed up with NFL Films and the NFL. I want to tell you, we can't thank you enough. I'm very appreciative. You're going to make our show better, and hopefully we make NFL Films a little bit better as well. We are very lucky and pumped to be a part of it, Keith.
Seeing you guys work, seeing how committed you are, it reminded me of the way we are back here. We are so excited about this, Pat.
There was a point a couple years ago when we were doing these shows where like we didn't even know if we were going to be able to get by with like using a Getty image.
And we're going to be able to literally pull clips for whatever. And we have a lot of minutes a week. We can pull back from back in the day. There's NFL clips that we're allowed to pull from. Some of these players have been around football for fucking 40 years. Let's assume their brain's also good and football knowledge also good. I would like to showcase that. Yeah, it's fucking sweet. We started in a basement, and now we got rights. This is big news. Cheers and thank you.
Pat, you had quite the night at SummerSlam as well.
It was an absolute honor to be on that card in front of 48,449 members of the WWE Universe. I've kicked balls my whole life, but a ball kicking I did on Saturday, I will remember for the rest of my life. Hey, Truck, can you please run a replay of that beautiful beam-busting footage? Here you see a big right. Bum-ass Corbin knocks Charles Robinson onto the ground. Charles Robinson, obviously, Hall of Fame official, and this big dumbass got him out of the way. My eyes on Charles out of the way, and bum-ass Corbin, distracted, knew that I was in for something magical. The scene was set. The balls were kicked, Cole. Charles Robinson couldn't see it because he was down because the big dummy got him knocked over. Bang to the beans. And then a quick how you doing and suck it, sir. Just a magical moment. The drums are banging and the balls are crying. Just Friday night, if you do recall, this man kicked me in the balls from behind. So just one day later in Nashville, Tennessee, with this foot right here that has made millions. Say it, Cole.
Millions.
and millions of dollars with my eyes on the prize here. The tiny target spot, this big dumb face. I knew that this was all she wrote, because whenever the foot starts swinging, the balls start ringing. The balls start ringing. Goal. Look at his big dumb face. You can almost see it happening. Ouch. He said, I heard him. His breath smelled terrible. He was saying, ouch. My ball hurt. You did it. A magical evening. And it's a storybook moment that'll go in the documentary of my life forever. And I've never been more proud of myself. I've never been more excited for something, but when that foot hit his balls, I was in pure euphoria.
Welcome back to the program. 42 minutes into hour one here on this. There's preseason games.
Bye.
Thursday, August 11th, 2022. Fascinating because the Patriots do play this evening. They are playing host to the Giants. Giants are favored by 2.5 points. This comes after Bill Belichick's offense has been critiqued by everybody that's ever watched it, and also said that nobody's playing pretty much. Speaking of nobody playing, day of first preseason game, James White says, you know what, had a hell of a career, had a hell of a run, I'm going to go ahead and retire. What was that? Was this Bill Belichick forcing him out like he kind of did to all the other old guys? He says, hey, don't make me do what I'm going to do. Well, our offense sucks. You suck more. We are going to fire you, cut you, or you retire today. Is that what happened?
No. The last 2 years he signed 1-year deals with the Patriots. It does seem as though he was on the back half. And then maybe, like you say sometimes, you get ready for training camp and it's just like, I don't want to do this again. Maybe James was like, holy shit.
Man, this team stinks.
Whole new offense, so I really want to learn this entire thing. Doesn't really seem fit for me. I'll just get out of here.
I don't enjoy the fact that everybody's taking victory laps now about the Patriots not being good.
I love it.
Now, you actually should, I think.
Exactly.
And every New England Patriot fan is enjoying it. And even the Patriot fans that are potentially worried about the team, seeing everybody take victory laps about their demise is probably rallying the troops even more than they have in the past. Now, this is a team that has had 6 Super Bowls over 20-some years, a winning dynasty that the NFL and no other league will ever see again with the way modern contracts are set up in modern life and the amount of money that is available outside the league itself for most guys that are very good at football. I don't know if we're going to see a dynasty like the New England Patriots made and had ever again in any sport. Now, with that comes the fallout of the afterwards, the transition after said dynasty. And everybody is assuming that transition is happening right now. Nothing good is coming out of camp from the offensive side of the ball. I guess people are confused. Nobody has a clue what they're doing. Mac Jones looks like he's lost. It is a shit show, I guess. And then if you look on the defensive side of the ball, there's no number one lockdown corner. I guess the linebacker core is this. Tommy Curran was on NFL radio this morning, I believe, and Nick was listening to it on the way in, and he read a diatribe basically of this team's fucked almost. Now that's Tommy Curran, who his job is to cover the Patriots day in, day out. A couple years ago, he did say that the cavalry ain't coming, Connor, is what he said, and the team did go on to stink. He's been pretty accurate, I think, with his reads. He is a Tom Brady guy as opposed to a Bill Belichick guy. He made that known publicly, and he's been living in that ever since then. Been covering the Patriots a long time. But Nick, he read off like a bunch of things that this team is in a bad spot, and that's only music to the ears to all the national pundits that have been hoping for this moment for a long time. What all did he run through, Nick, if you do recall?
Yeah, the way he laid it out, obviously he mentioned the retirement of O-line coach Dante Scarnecchia, who's Connor's mentioned before. He was a legend in his own right. Well, now they're trying to implement the Shanahan offense, the Mike Shanahan offense that Kyle Shanahan has evolved. And it's basically a zone running, zone blocking scheme. So they got these new offensive linemen trying to learn that system. They've got Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, a defensive coordinator and special teams coordinator, trying to implement it for these guys. They're having trouble protecting Mac Jones. Their best part of their defense is their D-line, which is dominating the O-line. They forced out Dante Hightower and a couple of Jamie Collins, a couple of the older linebackers. They transitioned the linebacking core. They lost their number one shutdown corner,
JC, right?
and J.C. Jackson, and then Stephon Gilmore, both in the last calendar year. So they're without a shutdown corner for the first time in a decade. There's just a lot going on at one time, a lot of transition at one time.
That was Nick Maraldo repeating what Tommy Kern said. And by the way, incredible memory. That was really, really solid. But the reason why he was paying attention so much is because we have to deal with you every single day. And he wanted to, I assume he just wanted to say that to you, right?
Well, it was kind of alarming to hear the way he laid it out, too.
Well, that's why Nick was listening. Yeah, he was like, hey, is this actually the death of the Patriots? And we said, Bill Belichick will figure it out. Of
course.
And I am still firm in the camp of Bill Belichick's going to figure this out. I am very firm. Because Bill Belichick won't sleep until he figures it out. If Matt Patricia and Joe Judge aren't figuring it out, guess what? Bill Belichick will fucking go do it himself, and that might take some time. I just have faith that the greatest GM of all time, the greatest lead counsel of all time, and the greatest head coach of all time, same person, by the way, I think they will figure it out. But is this the end, Connor? Are you and me potentially just holding on hope to something that's no longer existing? Are we judging off of past success in a completely different league, in a completely different time, with a completely different group of people, and what is happening this year, last year, next year, and the years going forward is going to be vastly different? Is that what we're doing right now? Are we picking up our fiddles on the Titanic after that motherfucker split in half?
Yeah.
So I'm not even talking about playing until it's split in half, where everybody was like falling from the top. I'm talking after it's split in half. We have found ourselves in a point with leverage where we are standing on maybe a wall or something as the thing's going under, and we still have our handle of our fiddle. Are we just playing this as this thing's going down, that Bill Belichick's going to figure it out? I'm willing to do so. But do you feel that that is the case? And has that entered or crept into your mind at all?
No, not at all. Because this conversation, we had the exact same thing when Tom Brady left. And, yeah, we went 7-9 the year after. And, sure, that wasn't good to the standard. But last year with a rookie quarterback, we go to the playoffs. We're acting like this team sucked last year and they didn't really do anything. I mean, if you go to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback, you can kind of look at that as a successful season. And Tom Curran,
Josh McDaniels lead.
Absolutely, yeah. New offense. There's going to be growing pains. But with the defensive side, Darius Butler's come on here, and he's talked about in the secondary, you don't need one guy. You need like 6-7 guys back there to actually be successful. Absolutely, we don't have that number one solidified J.C. Jackson high-paid corner, and that'll probably hurt. But, Bill's done a bend, don't break defense, excuse me. So let's see how far we go. Maybe we do give up a lot of yards, but maybe we're pretty good at, holding them out of the end zone.
All that matters.
Yeah, exactly. The D-line, definitely our strength, which is hopefully why the O-line has struggled a little bit. But even Tom Curran, forced out Dante Hightower and Jamie Collins. They're both free agents. No one has signed them. They're both, we're talking about back 9.
You're saying delivery was a
delivery's
come
a little
on,
aggressive.
a little dramatic.
And that's what Tom does sometimes. And I respect Tom. He's covered the Patriots for as long as I've been alive, damn near. But,
do you feel a duty now? Like, growing up, you watched Tom Curran cover the Patriots. Now you're. Oh no, you didn't.
I didn't watch anybody. I didn't listen to anybody. There's no point to because
I do enjoy the fact that you said Tom Curran has covered the Patriots for a long time. People are looking at you as the person who covers the Patriots for them, and I like the pitch that you just laid out, by the way, because that is us saying, Bill Belichick's figured it out. You don't need a number one corner. You need 7.
Yeah.
Because no matter what happens, the other team's going to have more weapons than you got number one guys. The depth of the secondary matters a lot more than maybe the tip of the secondary, but also have to have guys that can still fucking play.
For sure.
Because a one wide receiver can cook every C-level guy you got, which is a problem that some teams have run into, not having enough depth in the secondary. Then they run late in the season when the games matter, which we can beat the drum to, and teams can do things, win games like week 3, week 4, week 5, and people can point out a problem like, hey, they don't have enough weapons on that team, or hey, they don't have enough secondary on the team. They're winning games. Maybe when it matters, when an injury takes place to somebody, that's where your depth is going to be showcased, and maybe that's what Bill's trying to build. Maybe he's ahead of the game here. Maybe Bill, yet again, the offense can't complete a pass. He's ahead. He's thinking 2 years in advance for this New England Patriots.
Yeah, and that would make sense. And like you said, everybody's taking the victory lap, which is great for
hard victory
New
lap.
England fans. Yeah,
have you seen them out
there? Oh
there?
yeah, every single network that talks about it, damn near every day, about how they're lost, all this shit. How many times has every single person, been right about something? Damn near never. So it's nice that everyone's on that side. I'd much rather.
Well, we never hear
way.
about it. That's like whenever you don't want any of these television kickoff show crews all pick one team.
Sure.
You never hear about it when they win.
Yeah, exactly.
You only hear about it when they lose.
True.
And everybody, oh, here we go again. This is going to happen. And then we don't. The team does do exactly what they think, and then it's never heard from again.
You don't hear about it.
But when it is the opposite, it's like in your face. These people are. I think there's a lot of times where everybody kind of gets it right, though. I just want to let you I think there is a lot of times where everybody kind of has a similar opinion, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is that time, but just you saying, well, everybody's on it. Like you said that to me earlier today, too, and that was like your defense was, everybody feels one way. That makes me believe the complete opposite. Everybody hates Hitler. Like that is not, you know what I mean? Like there is some matter of facts out there.
But how many times is that victory lap taken before they even play a meaningful snap into the game? Like it's before the first preseason game, and people on TV are acting like the season's over because they haven't figured out an offense. They started 2-4 last year, and they still went to the playoffs. Like there is so much time.
So we're still playing that fiddle. And by the way, the glacier iceberg hasn't even been seen. We are still just cruising along.
Not even a little bit worried.
Painting is still happening from Jack. Jack's doing the paintings.
Yeah.
He's climbing up that boat quickly by fucking other dudes' wives.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's still cruising going on.
I mean, how many teams just want like a young bona fide quarterback? And I'm not saying, Mac Jones is bona fide stud, going to be great for the next 10, 15 years, but I think we can all agree he was definitely the best rookie quarterback last year, and he's a good quarterback.
So we're certainly into the Titanic's trip a little bit. Right?
Yeah,
After 20 years of success.
Water's getting pretty cold.
But is that iceberg like, shit? Or is it not even on the horizon yet,
I don't think it's on the horizon. Like when Brady left, definitely on the Titanic, this team is sinking. Holy shit, this is going to be the worst season of my life. And we went
No, they just hit some storms like they did in Wolf of Wall Street when he was taking his chop to Austria or where Switzerland.
Chop, yeah.
Yeah, a little chop.
Exactly.
Believe me, I was eating some chop in Lake Tahoe on a jet ski. You guys ate some chop there, but it wasn't the iceberg. I think what everybody's calling now is the iceberg.
Yeah.
You got defensive coordinator and a special teams coordinator coaching an offense that is sophisticated. Okay, that's a good idea. Shanahan and the Shanahan family have mastered it and had success forever. The offense can't do a single damn thing, and the defense has none of the players that were good anymore. And Bill Belichick, the defensive mastermind, spending more time on the offense. There's a lot of people saying, hey, the iceberg is right here. You're saying no way. We're still got events to go to.
Yeah,
It might not be there, but you want someone in the crow's nest looking out, right?
Someone's definitely looking out.
Is that Tommy Curran?
No, it's Steve Belichick.
Tommy did mention, he brought it all back to the point being that they didn't force the Buffalo Bills to punt one time in that playoff game, and I think that's what he was comparing all this to, was that the Bills got better this offseason. He's not so sure the Patriots did.
Well, and that's the other thing.
Shit.
Is that even if the Bills got worse, like the Bills are the Super Bowl favorites. Like you got to be at least a little realistic. Like, hey, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills have probably one of, if not the most complete team in the entire.
Oh, nice,
NFL.
a defeated attitude.
Oh no, I still completely believe we're going to make a playoff run, and who knows what happens.
Sounds like Fox. Fox, what are the Lions going to do?
10-7 playoff win. This is actually the year.
Yeah, but that's never happened, and we actually went 10-7 last year. Went to the playoffs. So it's a little different. But that, you have to be a little realistic.
It's a big storyline right now, the New England Patriots, just because it's Bill Belichick and it is the New England Patriots. And every press conference he gives less information on the offense to the media, who is asking a lot of questions. There was a question the other day that was asked. He spent 22 seconds dead quiet after the question was asked, just staring. Well, I think that's not accurate. It's getting uncomfortable up there, I assume.
Well, I mean, I don't know if Bill hears everything, but you always kind of think the way he acts, the way he is, maybe he does have some inkling about what is going on out there, and he's probably sick of it too.
Speaking of not hearing anything, Tua gave a great answer. I thought it was a great answer. Now, Nick thought it was vastly different, and Nick also part of the problem, like Connor.
What do you mean?
Part of the problem.
Well,
you guys just perpetuating bullshit that we don't need to be
He said it, not
perpetuating.
me.
Well, yeah, but you did it just a little bit ago, like 20 minutes ago.
No.
Like kind of just main sports talk, conversation, chatter. If it just gets perpetuated on this show, I don't enjoy it. I don't love it. Nick made a pretty good point, though. I like seeing other people's views on how, because I thought Tua gave a great answer about keeping the noise outside.
Yeah.
And then when he's forced to talk about it, which is when the press basically has to ask him questions about it, he actually said, Oh, great. I have to talk about this. I guess I got to find a politically correct way to answer this question. And Nick goes, just shut up, dude, and say the politically correct answer.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Just say the politically correct answer. Say
What was
the
he
thing that
supposed to
people
do?
want to hear.
What was he supposed to do? What Bill Belichick did up there? Just be completely quiet?
Yeah, kind of awesome.
I liked it. I like Tua even more. Every time Tua talks now, I like him even more. He's going to have to be good this year,
Yeah, he's
though.
got to win.
Hour 2 is on the other side with AJ Hawk and Rappaport. I think the T got in.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But it is French, so is the T ever really in?
No.
It works either way.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like Mary Kay Cabot
Yes.
from Cleveland Sports.com. No, the
Cleveland Plains Dealer.
Cleveland Plains Dealer.com. Insider for the brunch. She has all the information.
All of it.
I guess it's not Cabot. This was a big conversation yesterday because she was potentially in Feel the Beat and then had to reschedule. She will hopefully be in another Feel the Beat later.
What she had to do?
I guess it's Cabot.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not Cabot?
That's what I'm saying. Are we more sophisticated than all the other sports stooges that keep saying Cabot? Like,
Right.
It
hey,
probably
bonjour,
was.
ça va?
Probably was Cabot, and their family got off the boat or whatever.
Oh.
And they said, hey, nobody likes the French over here. Let's make it Cabot.
How about when people got off the boat and said things? Where are you from? Deutschland. Germany. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know?
It's also the possibility that no one in Cleveland could understand or pronunciate it. So there's, let's make it Cabot. It's easier for us stooges.
Yeah, there ain't nobody from France living in Cleveland, too. No,
What?
Nobody from France is living in Cleveland. They all went down to New Orleans.
No, they
Louisiana.
all went down. What is your
did.
problem?
That's what they did. They went to Louisiana.
You know nothing about the Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah,
I
I
don't even
do.
know what you think.
Yeah,
You
I
have
do.
no clue.
Yeah, I do.
Beignets are there. So
They're very
Alpon
delicious.
has a lot of restaurants
French
there.
Creole.
Well, they even got Fleur de Lis down there.
What's that?
Yeah, so what is exactly?
Was the flour, you mean?
No, let's get to a break. I'm disgusted.
I don't know.
You're right. I don't know where French people live in America.
Just not Cleveland. It's Cabot.
Travis Kelce was talking about a Northeast Ohio kid on the
was awesome.
Kansas City Chiefs at practice.
Scrum.
Look at this guy's swag. He's got no wristbands.
Yeah, no sleeves.
Look, this guy. Love it. Absolutely love it. He's got a monotone cadence. Love it, this guy.
The guy next to him said something, asked him, oh, is that where he's from? He's like, yeah, you can't tell.
Look at this guy. Is this guy not Cleveland to a T right here? That's awesome. Ohio people are awesome.
Fun fact, the top 10 cities in the U.S. With French people, all Maine.
Fucking knew it. Told you.
Where?
Maine.
New England, baby. Most beautiful country.
And New Hampshire's the other
goddamn country.
You're just ripping the French 5 seconds ago.
No, I said
No.
Cleveland. I was ripping Cleveland.
No, well, you said them and they.
Yeah.
So?
Pretty.
So what? They say that about Irish people.
Is it
I
Maine?
don't cry about
Is
it.
it Maine because of Quebec?
Yeah, it's very close. And
Is
also,
Maine close to Quebec?
Montreal?
Montreal above
I thought it was close.
Erie, or is it above?
I thought it was that way.
I thought it was a little more to the right, above New York.
Yeah.
I thought
That's gonna be a
Montreal.
hell of a fucking flight next week.
Yeah.
Where's
Quebec,
it at?
Quebec City and Quebec are almost directly north of Maine.
Yeah. In Maine.
A little
North of Maine.
A little northwest.
You're
Maine
in
is
Montreal?
gorgeous.
I guess I'm flying to fucking Europe. That's gonna be a hell of a flight.
You leaving on Thursday morning?
Jeez. Louise.
I can't wait to get there. Never been there. Oui, oui, bonjour, je m'appelle Pat.
There you go.
Can't wait to get
Ça
into
va?
it. Tu es très gros, is you are very fat. And that was the only thing I could say to the French kids I was playing soccer against. After they were, French kid put his cleat right through my chest.
Prick.
Tried to kill you.
If you go
Yes.
to Montreal, that's like directly east of Maine. So that's right above Vermont.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They're right there.
Sorry, west.
Next to each other. So like Maine's here, Vermont's here.
West of her. Yeah, well, fucking Canada is west of Maine, isn't it? And except
Yes,
for the
That's Montreal.
Yeah, you're like right above the northwestern corner of Vermont.
it's gonna be
Maine
a
gets
hole.
up there.
Maine does get up
Maine
there.
goes.
Yeah, Maine's got no sun for a while.
Maine's
though.
basically Canada.
Yeah, damn near. Unbelievable lobster, though. My God. Best you've ever had. It's real.
Yeah.
All right, we're back in 2.5 minutes with AJ Hockey, and Rapport will join us this hour, as will AQ Shipley in the third hour. It's quite a good Thursday, August 11th. Giants at Patriots, Titans at Ravens happening tonight. Let's go. Play-by-play legend, Al Michaels.
Yeah!
What's up, man?
You know, I decided to dress for success.
I
I've
respect
been working out all week, baby, just to be your doppelganger. And I got to tell you something. You know, I don't know what the future is going to hold next year. But if you got a spot for me, either in the studio or I can play the role of A.J. Hawk as well.
We have room for you wherever, whenever. Okay, so let's dive right into it. You know that I exist. This is awesome.
I love this show.
No.
This is everything I dreamed about, right? No holds barred television. None.
How long you been in the game? TV game? I said forever, but I should have done more research. This is 100% on me.
How about 1968? I did the Hawaii Islanders of the Pacific Coast League. Minor League Baseball. Then on to the Cincinnati Reds in 1971. That's 50 freaking years ago. Marty Brenneman succeeded me for the next 44. I did 3 years there, and then I went to San Francisco. The Giants tripled my salary. And that's why. And then ABC for 30 years and NBC for 16. And here we are, man.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 2 on this. There's 2 preseason NFL games on this evening, Thursday, August 11th, 2022. We shall resume right now.
Here we go at it, baby.
That's right, hour 2 off to a great start. At a Baby Talks Table at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys at Tone Diggs. How you feeling, Bub?
Feeling really good. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. You guys obviously putting a bunch of bets out on these preseason games tonight?
Yes, absolutely. I have a full Excel spreadsheet keeping track of the news coming out on who's playing and who's not, so I've got all that information.
Quick update. Patriots not playing anybody.
Correct.
Giants playing everybody.
All starters, less than a half, though.
Well,
doesn't matter.
I fucking hope so.
More than a quarter, though.
Plus, and you got fucking Danny Dimes, Tyrod going up against Hoyer, and then Bailey Zappi, who's the rookie quarterback for them.
Stidham not there. That's tough.
That's a bad
This could have been his night.
It for the Raiders.
Yeah, he was absolutely. So I'd assume we all like the Giants there. Giants minus 2.5, only a field goal.
Leaning Giants.
And you're not going to tie in a preseason game.
No way.
No.
So what's that?
You never know with Bill.
Oh, he wants overtime.
That's right.
Let's run the back half of this roster into the fucking dirt.
Figure out this depth right now.
And then same game, same time. Starts 30 minutes later. Interesting. Titans at Ravens. All Eastern Standard Time Zone games. 1-7 and 1-7 and 1-7:31.
Yeah.
The hell's that about?
Guess first quarter of the one. Get the other.
Yeah, first quarter of the other one. So you get about an hour of entertainment here. Yeah. Is that what they're thinking?
Hey,
Maybe.
Titans might be more than an hour with Malik Willis.
And Malik Willis is playing. We'll get a good chance
Ravens
to see.
have won 21 straight preseason games.
That's because the depth they have and the style of offense that they play, and their backup is a fucking guy.
So Huntley's good. Tyler Huntley's good. And you love this in the preseason, as do I. Huntley, and then their rookie, Anthony Brown, all can move.
Yeah, preseason games, if a quarterback can move, you're going to have success. This is just from watching our preseason games and having to punt in these preseason games with terrible people. Whenever a pocket passer would go in, even if I liked the kid and I thought he was going to be good, he's fucked. He's got no chance. He has to have so many things go right for him to have. First of all, the wide receiver has to know the play. Wide receiver has to know the route. He also has to know the route that wide receiver is running. And a potential other wide receiver, they have to run the right route to open up said one, and they both have to know which route it is. And let's not even talk about, you need all 5 of the offensive linemen to be on the same page. These guys just met each other 3 days ago, and 2 of them probably never going to play football again, not even in the fucking XFL. So a pocket passer is pretty much fucked in preseason football games. Now, there is still an ability to judge them, I guess. if they do have a couple plays where they have time, it's just like when evaluators have to watch college football players and they say like there was like 7 NFL plays that we could really evaluate this quarterback from. I think they can do that for pocket passers in preseason games. But from my experience, if we had a pocket passer, they were fucked. If the person could move and extend the play, so if the offensive lineman got something wrong, or if the wide receivers ran the wrong route, you kind of make it a wash, make it just like a backyard, they're going to have success. So I love the Ravens tonight. I think is what I just heard. Malik Willis, though, for the Titans, he can still move, right?
I think Logan Woodside's going to get the start. He's the backup there, and then probably Malik Willis, probably the entire second half, you would think.
So maybe not the Ravens. Joining us now is a man who might be able to give us more information. A guy who's an absolute stallion, a champion. He won a college football national championship, which will come in handy. Never has for us, really, but will come in handy this year.
Yeah, that's right. True.
For the simulcast deal.
That's right.
Because every time we do the draft spectacular, this college football national champion, college football icon, you don't know any of these fucking guys getting drafted.
Nothing.
Like ESPN and all these other college football places, they go like, oh, let's get a college football icon on. Let's get a college football national champion. Let's get a guy who's most synonymous with one of the biggest schools. This would be like a fucking get.
Home run.
And then they have like draft spectaculars. This is showcase time for said fucking college football national champion. AJ, this guy plays. Wow.
Oh, I don't know anyone's
names.
He's good. I like this guy.
But this year, he's going to be all invested.
Hell yeah.
Of course. He's got 10 kids. He doesn't have enough space in that massive brain of his because he is also a Super Bowl champion.
Holy shit.
An NFL legend. All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Ryder Cup champion. COVID survivor. Multi-time. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall. What's up, dude?
Thank you. That was actually fun to sit there and watch it. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, that guy's good. Like, you know what? Sometimes you guys are pretty accurate.
Well, this year, though, we're going to need you to go ahead and flaunt that college football national championship ring a little bit.
Big time.
You're going to have to give us some legitimacy this year, AJ, okay? We're going into a bunch of cults. You know it. You live in one. We're going into a bunch of cults. SEC cults are going to be, they're thick.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to sense whether or not we know anything. And there's a good chance we don't. So we need you to just accidentally, hey, how you doing? Fucking big ring.
What's that?
You ever heard one of these? Yeah. We need that this year, okay? Is that something we can get?
Yeah, we can definitely try that. I don't think the ring is going to impress you that much. Last time I saw it, it is not very big, and I don't think they're allowed to spend a whole lot of money on those rings for college back then.
That's in comparison to a Super Bowl. He's just being humble.
No, my Super Bowl ring isn't that big either compared to what they do now.
What the fuck? What?
Well, Ohio State,
I
obviously.
mean, they build monsters now. Have you seen those Super Bowl rings that are coming out?
Can't wear them. No. They have layers to this shit. You open one, and then you can open another one. It's like those memes that you zoom in on a photo. That's what the Super Bowl rings are now. It's like you go ahead and open it, and it'll, look, there's a team photo, everybody in diamonds. And then you open it. This is the first in goal that we scored. And then you open this one. Look at that. That's a picture of this ring.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's, how much does it cost? Every one of them, $750,000.
Pretty sweet.
Can never wear this. Need a vault for this thing because somebody's going to try to steal it. But it's what we're fighting for, AJ, isn't it? And right now, all these guys are in training camp trying to get one of those 5-story rings so that they can live on an eternal legacy of greatness of being a Super Bowl champion. Every time they're introduced into an event, Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl champion. Literally the bottom person on the roster, top person on the roster is being introduced the same for the rest of their life. Tom Brady is going to miss very valuable time at training camp right now. Obviously, he has 7 of those rings. His have grown from little small baby Super Bowl rings to obviously entire mansion rings down in Tampa Bay. This is a big deal. They said it's personal. They knew it before camp started. So what does that mean? It had to be something that was planned out then. So this isn't a surprise situation, which I think is good news. They're doing joint practices with the Dolphins right now. Very surprised by this, AJ, especially at the quarterback position, especially Tom Brady. What are your thoughts on it all, AJ?
Well, I think the surprising thing was, that it was already planned. I read Todd Bowles, what he said after practice, whenever he spoke with the media. He said, we knew this coming in, like we've known this a while ago, and he feels comfortable with Tom's experience and all this, he'll come back, but he's not coming back till after August 20th, correct?
Yeah, but then there was a follow-up about, like, hopeful for the first game of the season. It's like,
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Good question.
I don't know.
Does anybody have, I hope everything's all right. This is weird that they had to plan this too, and all of a sudden now we're here. Like, I don't know.
Because you would think maybe, and this sounds we don't want to assume anything. We have no idea if this is what it is, but natural reaction is like, oh, a family member must have got sick. Something must have just came out of nowhere that was very drastic. And saying, no, we knew going into camp. It's like, okay, well, that kind of rules that out. This is massive. Did they know it was going to be in the middle of the joint practices? Because everybody calls these like training camp practices. And, like Rappaport will be joining us in 5 minutes. I don't think he's still down there. Was this known yesterday? Like, was this how long has this been talked about? AJ.
Yeah, who all has known other than Tom and maybe Todd Bowles that Tom was going to leave after the first 2 weeks of camp?
AQ Shipley will join us in the third hour. He obviously has deep connections down there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think he knows shit about but we do know that anything that comes out, he will get blamed for.
That's right.
So we might as well have him on the show to hear what he fucking has to say. You know what I mean?
He definitely has the answers.
Yeah,
he knows.
Yeah, and if he doesn't have the answers and somebody else has the answers, it will be, AQ Shipley.
He was pointing at it.
How about that last year when AQ
That was
Shipley
awesome.
was outed as the guy that said BA and Tom Brady hate each other?
Yeah. They found the leak.
Well, Rich Warrenberg.
How's that happen?
Well, because his college teammate 12 years ago was the one that told the story. So it was obviously AQ Shipley that did that. And I understand that AQ was friends with that guy, is friends with that guy. But if AQ's just giving out inside stories like that, and he's not giving them to me, I mean, I was the best man in his wedding. He was very close to my wedding. I understand he and Rich, good college teammates, and I think he's good. But if he knows we're on every single day and he didn't give that to me, fuck AQ.
We got a problem.
Yeah, that is.
So
that was why we took such, good interest in that story happening, because it was like, oh, I guess got to cut AQ Shipley out of the wedding photos. That's all. No, I'm joking, but I'm excited to hear what he has to say, because Blaine Gabbert is obviously OG. He's loved down there. He'll do a great job. He's obviously not Tom Brady. Nobody is. They might be set up for this, but that's a big deal, I think. Personally, I think that is a big deal.
Don't you think what was weird to me is Todd Bowles acted like, hey, Tom wanted to come here and get these first couple weeks, build rapport with the team, the receivers, everybody, and not take reps away from these guys in the preseason games, I guess. So, could Tom have chose to just miss the first 2 weeks of camp and then come in?
Yeah, and then how does that go?
Yeah, the whole thing. I don't know. Eventually, maybe when he does his Monday show with Jim Gray, he'll tell us.
Are they doing that again?
I don't know.
Jim probably wouldn't ask.
Easy.
Jeez, Tony.
Tony.
Ton.
Good dig. Respected journalist.
Ton said Jim. All right, Connor.
Good dig there. I didn't get it at first. Wow.
Did it go over your head?
It did.
Early, and then
it cut out on me.
What did he ask? Oh, yeah.
He said Jim wouldn't ask. And that was kind of a part of the thing. That was kind of a part of the thing this year. We thought that was going to be just a quote generating machine.
Yeah.
Like we're going.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy is smarter than us.
What's your deal? Why is this guy?
No, it's like it was like a paid. It was like a sponsorship deal. It wasn't like an in-depth thing, was it? It was like, hey, wasn't it sponsored by multiple people that Tom was involved with? I'm sure Jim as well.
So I listened to a couple episodes. Okay, couple parts, a couple episodes. Every question can't be sponsored. Like, that is going to be tough for people to listen to.
That question was brought to you by Morton's Steakhouse.
What'd you have for lunch today, Tom? I bet it was from our friends at Morton's, wasn't it?
Yeah. They go and do like a 10-minute read about how to
long reads.
Yeah.
Long reads, a lot of reads, tough to get through. But we assumed that Tom Brady having a show every week during the season would be just a quote factory. It was not. We are partially to blame for that because, once again, we couldn't get through all the episodes to get the shit out that we would want. Tom Brady speaking the greatest of all time is great news. Then Aaron on Tuesday talking is great news for sports fans. It's great news for the NFL. We just weren't able to get anything out of that. So does Jim Gray know what's going on, I wonder?
Wow.
9 days. What happens for 9? Joining us now, maybe somebody that's on the inside of the inside. He was just down at the joint practices. Did he see this one coming? He's been on a training camp tour. I believe he's back in his bed maybe right now, back in his basement, not 100% sure. He's the host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends, us being the friends, he being Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, you know Jim Gray?
I have never met Jim Gray, no.
Well, we didn't really get to know him either because we listened to a podcast between him and Tom Brady and didn't really get to know either of them. I don't think they really went in too deep, but it was still an incredible conversation weekly that we wish we would have listened to more of.
Yeah, of course.
Do you, though?
Yeah.
We can go back to the podcast and do it. Get it.
Yeah, that's
all right, AJ will do that. Cool.
Yep.
Write that down.
I got it.
AJ, we'll find you,
Thank you, AJ.
$5,000 a day, by the way, for every day that we don't have more information from that podcast. CFO Phil, please make
I'm
an
on it.
addendum to the contract. Send a DocuSign to Aaron
Do
James
not
Hawk.
sign that, AJ. Do not sign
Hey,
that.
Rap, shut up.
Keep your
Rap,
mouth
you nerd.
shut.
All right, it's good for all of
You're
us.
not
Rap.
an agent, dude.
You nerd, dude.
Mark.
Anyways, let's move on. Let's just assume that is happening. What I just said right there. Aaron James, sign full name, please, on that DocuSign. All right?
Larry Hall.
Because it'll be. What if he wrote J, big
I have done that
block,
before.
H? Have you seen Blackbird, Ian?
No.
Come on. I appreciate
What's
you laughing.
Blackbird?
It's worth a watch. It's on Apple. You've been doing your training camp tour.
Dude, I'm watching Game of Thrones. That's enough for me, okay?
Oh,
Never
you
seen it before.
from the beginning because they're doing this prequel thing. Is that why you're catching up?
I mean, that kind of started, but mostly just because I'm the only weirdo who hasn't seen it. And let me tell you, that is a good show.
All right. So if you're into that nerd shit, like, why didn't you watch it from the beginning? You're not one of the only people. I've never watched it. AJ's never watched it, obviously.
The reason is because I was on a training camp tour like 9 years ago, and my wife started without me. So when I came home, she was on episode like 5, and she was like,
"Oh,
guess you're not catching up. See you in 8 seasons," and that was it.
Hey, your wife just had a New York Post article, right? Or a New York Times article?
New York Post, yeah.
How about that, Leah? Hey, it was awesome to hear from the person that literally built that house with her hands. It sounds like that you just kind of inhabit or whatever. It was cool to read. She talked about, a little bit of you and Shefty, a little bit of who needs to break news first. Does our show directly affect and hurt you breaking news because we keep you here for conversations about Game of Thrones and Blackbird and stuff like that, and you can't just be in your phone? Because we've seen 60 Minutes things and stuff on Schefter. He's actual robot.
Yeah.
Like he is actual robot all day, every day, in phone, need to type up everything he thought that day, everything he didn't, every night, goes to bed, same clothes, wakes up, in
his
phone.
suit.
He's not doing any of this bullshit fuckery.
He changes clothes, doesn't he?
No, he sleeps in his suit.
Yeah, and he
once a
wakes.
month,
I think they actually said he wakes up
Yeah.
like that, and then turns, and then he flips up, and both phones pop out of his palms.
Glued to him.
Yeah, and then it's just all day or whatever. That's what we learned. You don't seem to be like that, but it does feel like that is that is who you are. You understand you're going against. So you have a friendly relationship. Obviously, competitors can have that. But do you feel like you need to be a little bit more robotic, and then maybe that'll help you in your whole entire career, or no?
I really don't. I mean, this show, first of all, if this show was negatively interfering with my ability to break news and do my sort of real job, then I would stop doing it or do it less.
Oh, okay.
And like you guys know, like,
Very
valid.
sometimes when news happens, I'll be like, I'll see you guys later, because obviously my first responsibility is to NFL Network. But I have not speaking.
The NFL as a whole, by the way, not just the NFL Network. You have a responsibility, like I think all of us really, and around, by the way.
Oh yeah, but I just everyone has to be comfortable with the way they do the job, and I've never felt like I can't go play golf, or let's say I wanted to have a beverage or hang out with the family.
Or 6.
Yeah.
One maybe or more. Like I've
15.
I've never felt like I needed to be tied to this phone and not able to be regular. And I work extremely hard to try to be like a regular human, because otherwise I would go literally crazy.
Well, we appreciate you and what you bring to the NFL media world and to our show. And we understand anytime you got to do what you got to do, you got to do what you got to do. Now, a little less golf during the offseason would be nice for all of us, but I guess you can handle
Not
your
me,
thing.
though.
All right, so let's talk about this. While you were golfing, okay, while you're walking around a bunch of different courses and boozing and going to the Pez dispenser factory and museum and the Harry Potter museum and everything like that, allegedly Tom Brady and Todd Bowles were talking about him missing maybe 9 days in the middle of training camp during joint practices. That's the information that's coming out right now. Todd Bowles knew this was going to take place, so this means it was planned. It wasn't like out of nowhere some medical emergency took place. It's going to be at least 9 days, they're saying. What happened here, and is Tom okay? That's literally the most important thing. And then let's kind of dive into the deeper of it that you understand of it.
Okay, so here's everything I understand about this. It was planned. No one is worried. He's fine. It's not, to my knowledge, it is not a medical emergency related to him, or I believe anyone close to him. I was told everything is okay. The best description I got about this was that it is important to find a work-life balance. Kind of like we were just talking about. Not saying I'm like the greatest quarterback of all time, but I'm just saying finding a work-life balance is extremely important. Brady has been doing this for 23 years. He knows the scheme as well as anyone. He wasn't going to play in those 2 games anyway. So he steps aside to, it sounds like, do some actual personal things, family things, and let the other guys get the reps.
Like a baseball tournament for his son or something?
Yeah, did they sign up? Oh, so when he was retired, they signed up to do something, obviously. That's what happened here?
I don't know specifically, but my guess is just judging from the people I've spoken with that you're kind of in the right area. Like there is a family thing that I believe is happening that is good.
He promised Giselle.
Bingo.
He promised Giselle, he promised the family, we'll do this. And then when he decided to come back, there was an immediate, hey, we've been waiting to do this for literally 20 years at this point. And it's, okay, so that makes sense.
I don't know that for sure, but putting all the pieces together and understanding what it's like to have a wife and a family, if that was the case, that would make some sense.
All right, well, congrats to Tom and the family.
Yeah. There you go, Tom.
Congrats to Tom and the family, holding true on that. I'm intrigued by it because how many people knew, you think? That came out of nowhere, right? I mean, this came out of nowhere?
I mean, I feel like I'm somewhat good at this, and I was there literally yesterday, and the only thing I got vaguely was someone calling me last night at like 9 and being like, call me at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And that was when practice started, and it was like, Brady's not here. And I was like, yes, I'm aware. But that's the only like vague thing. Everyone else who I talked to knew, and everyone kept it quiet. Everyone.
I think my favorite part of this whole thing is there's somebody trying to become a source for you, and they just weren't fucking good enough.
Nope.
Hey, I know. All right, shut up. Bring me something when you got something. Sorry about it. Go ahead, AJ.
Ian, I saw where Todd Bowles talked about, they've been talking about this for a long time now, and Tom wanted to come in and get the first couple weeks to build rapport. Is this something that he could have missed the first 2 weeks and then come in? Like, there's a timing. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I feel like the first 2 weeks was more important than the preseason games. Because, like, I mean, if you think about it, we've seen people come in and quarterbacks get the reps. They do the joint practices, and then they don't play in the preseason games, and that's fine, right? So Tom wasn't going to play anyway. So the thing was the 2 weeks are more important. So stay for that when the games come, and it's going to be off day, walk through, like take that away, and then be back when it counts.
Okay, so we're all learning about this as it goes, as is Ian Rappaport, who we're speaking to, the man who is. His duty is to serve the NFL people with information. No, he doesn't know anything about this particular one with the greatest player of all time in the middle of training camp.
I mean, a little insight.
Hey, it does feel like we kind of pieced some things together there because we were trying to rack our brains on what this could have been. That is really the only thing that actually makes sense whenever you think about him being a human as well as being a quarterback and also being retired for a certain amount of days where things could potentially get planned out and then being like, I have to, my family has given me a lot. I said I was going to do this when I wasn't playing. We're all happy I'm coming back, right? Yeah, if we are, I have to do that. That makes sense. Let's move on to another situation. Roquan Smith off a PUP for the Chicago Bears. Put out publicly that he has requested a trade because he didn't feel like the Bears were negotiating in good faith. Actually called to the owners of the team, the McCaskies, in the middle of his things, which I thought was another negotiation tactic by Roquan, which I thought was a pretty good one, to be honest. He's at practice, not getting fined today. He's there, didn't practice. How's that going? And is that ugly right now or no?
First of all, we do not know for sure whether or not he's getting fined. It's one of the, and a lot of times we don't because you don't have to make it public and people don't want to, but he is healthy. And I think the reason they removed him from the PUP list is because he's not injured. So you can't really have a guy who's on the PUP list who doesn't have an injury. So that's why they had to do it, because he was fine. My understanding is he's not expected to practice. And, what happens now is sort of anyone's guess. He has requested a trade. He's called an ownership, as you said. I haven't sensed any movement. No, I know the team would like to sign him, but I haven't sensed any, movement toward that.
Oh, shit.
As far as the ownership getting involved. So, it's going to be interesting to see what tack they take. Like, do they come after his money, or do they say, let's give this is one of our best players, let's give us some more time and hopefully work out a deal? It by taking him off this list, which again they had to do, it got really interesting.
I don't know if they had to. They could have extended it, I think. But them doing that, I guess, is a bet of them saying, like, hey, let's figure out what this deal is and putting it on somebody else. Zito told me as you were wrapping up your answer there, Eberflus spoke that he was asked why Roquan Smith didn't practice today, and he said you're going to have to ask him that. So this is a very fascinating situation. This is the hold-in era, right? We're in the middle. This is the hold-in era. This is the new CBA. Normally, we assume it's going well. That's why he's there, and it's close. This one seems to be going a different direction. You were the one that released the statement, I think, by Roquan Smith. You were also the one that said he's looking to break Darius Leonard's number. You're tight with Roquan, and do you think that there's an end for this and an out for this, or no?
There are a couple different ends. I mean, they could make him the highest paid linebacker in the NFL, which my understanding is their offer is there, but it's not real. It's not a real highest paid offer.
Backloaded, right?
It's Fogaze.
Yeah, it's like way backloaded. So like, the last year has a high number and it makes the average high, but it's not real. There's a couple things they'd asked him to do in the deal that he does not want to do. And it sounds like the manner in which they've come to him has not been
the tone of the contract.
Yeah, just sort of like take it or leave it, which, that's I like these are always tough. And the fact that he doesn't have an agent means that they're speaking to him and not through his agent. So like you can get a deal done, but sometimes you feel it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think all of that is kind of adding up this. Now again, like they could end up saying, you know what, we'll give a better offer. We'll make this happen. The owner will speak to him. He'll be a Bear for life, and we can make this okay.
Oh yeah, Bear down.
Or what they could do, is say, you know what, we're going to entertain offers to trade him and get as much as they possibly can.
Uh-oh. Did he sign?
No, it's not him.
What is it?
Okay.
It's Dwayne Brown going to the New York Jets to take the place of Mekhi Becton.
Okay, congrats, Dwayne. OG, right? Big dog.
Yeah.
He's big
30-something.
Whoa.
No, it's great. It's cool. He's still got, Dwayne Brown's awesome. So, as a guy.
You don't like seeing people make money?
I love it. Everybody should make money. I'm actually trying to find out how much money is what I'm going for now.
Oh, okay. Hey, go get it. Hey, go get it, Ian. Go ahead, AJ.
Ian, what's going to happen with Jimmy Garoppolo out in San Francisco?
We're still in the waiting game portion of this whole thing. It's August 11th, so we're getting real close to when he should be fully cleared, which is good because it means that some team would feel confident enough to trade for him and he'd be able to pass a physical. But I still don't exactly see the path where he gets traded. Like, unless there's some, which would be very unfortunate, some sort of injury to a big-time quarterback in a playoff team, I don't know where he gets traded. So it seems we are still in the waiting portion of this. And probably the next great decision that will come is, do the 49ers carry him? My guess is they do not. And they say, you know what, let's just cut him now. But they don't want to cut him. They want the draft pick. So do they roll the dice and say, we're going to carry him on this salary and hopefully trade him? Or do they say, you know what, it didn't work out with a trade, let's just cut him?
Is the not cutting him obviously because they want something in return, whatever it will be at this point? We are not going to cast what it would cost to get Jimmy G. Do you know what it would cost?
It depends on, it really, I hate not like dancing around this, but it costs what someone's willing to pay. So if you're like a great team who suffers an unfortunate injury and you've gone all in for this year, you'd probably be willing to give up a lot, like a second rounder. If you are kind of just sort of want them, but the salary's a lot, then you'd be willing to give up a lot less.
Okay, so who's paying the salary and everything like that? Got it.
Right. Maybe the 49ers say, we'll pay some, but we want a really good draft pick. That changes the compensation.
And also, they probably don't want, to cut him and him go to Seattle immediately, right? That's also something?
They do not want that.
Yeah.
That would be, and then I think they see him week 2, if I remember, they see him quick. So the whole thing would be very interesting.
Pete Carroll's still running gassers.
Yeah.
So,
what shoes was he wearing?
The Monarchs, obviously. Go ahead, Connor, your question. Last one here.
Guy?
What's that?
He's not a Jordan guy? Is that a spin-off?
He's a 70-some-year-old white dude. He's wearing the Monarchs. That's just that's what happens. You go to any mall, you do anything. Will Compton, Spice Adams.
Yeah.
Basically, that line, you will see that. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Rap Sheet. Why did James White retire? Did he look at the Patriots and say, God, the team sucks? Or was he just kind of done with the whole thing?
And is everything on fire up there?
The reports have not been great,
Oh.
but let me ask the first part of this. James White retired because I think it was time physically, his body, like he was dealing with an injury that just did not get better, and like one of the biggest primetime players like of all time. You know, like he retired. I mean, seriously, like 20 points in the second half against the Falcons in the game-winning touchdown, like rock star. As far as the Patriots, I've seen the reports. I've heard the exact same thing as everything you've been reading. And so all of these sort of offensive issues are all true. However, I know Bill Belichick. I've seen the Patriots. I am still going to say I will trust in what they are doing, knowing that they always figure it out. And even if everyone's like, can you believe they're doing this? They always figure it out, and they'll be fine.
We believe the same thing. I actually asked Connor the question earlier. Are we playing the fiddle on the Titanic after it already split? Are we riding this Titanic into the ground that Bill Belichick will figure it out? And he cut a promo. Was like, nope, they don't have a number one corner because they got like 7 good corners. The offense is brand new. They're going to figure it out. I believe that to be the case as well. We also believe that you're the man. We can't thank you enough for joining us,
Appreciate
Ian.
it. Thank you for having me. I appreciate
Let's
it.
get some.
Let's break some.
What do we say, huh?
Where's Jimmy going, huh?
Jimmy, where's Tom at?
Yeah, what's happening?
I mean, we just gave you 3 weeks of training camp stuff. Not that it was like heavy on news, but
let's make it
we
3
got
months.
some stuff to talk. Hey, remember what it was like in June? That was tough.
You were golfing.
Yeah.
We were talking.
I actually was playing
Yeah. How was the training camp? Are you excited to be home? When'd you get home? Last night?
I got home last night at like 8. I am excited to be home. Feels very strange. I got a couple more trips in me, but the bulk of it is done. And yes, I will be seeing my oldest son tomorrow, who's at sleepaway camp. Who's been there for 7 weeks, so it's all coming together, Pat.
Here we go.
7 weeks. Kicking him out of the house.
7 weeks.
Christ.
What the fuck? It's like you put your
Go work on the railroad.
What is that? What, is this normal?
It's been a great experience.
Can he make phone calls?
Jesus.
Does he have to, can he utilize? Is this like? Is he allowed to use electricity and shit? Like, what do you mean 7 weeks? That's a long time.
He's allowed to use electricity. Like, there's a thing called a radio that he was able to use, but no screens, and so no phone. So we've talked to him 3 times, and we had visiting day, which was really a beautiful thing.
Did you guys like go meet in a like a jail type thing, like
cabin?
No,
Did you get to see all the shoes that he made you?
All right. He's not in jail. Is this jail? Is that where is he in jail? Is this like a
Making
scared
license
straight?
Greatest place ever. Everyone should send their kids to one of these places. It's more of a Northeast thing.
Who's Northeast, Rap Sheet?
Oh, he's talking about the Yups, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So what goes on? You guys, so rich people send their kids for 2 months in the summer to somewhere, and it's what is it?
It's sports, it's nature, it's hiking, it's a lot of swimming.
Like heavyweights?
There's
How old? What age group?
Yeah.
The blob.
Sounds like heavyweights.
250?
It's great. It's awesome.
Is it heavyweights?
What do you mean?
Like not the actual
The movie.
Tony
reason
Perkins.
for heavyweights,
Yeah.
but that kind of thing.
Lunch is canceled.
I haven't seen the movie, but I'm just going to go
God.
with yes.
All right, thank you so much.
Rashid.
Hey, we tell your oldest we said hello, and we've talked to him just as much as you have in the last 2 months. But it is certainly sweet. We appreciate your service to the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Rappaport. Do you do that? Wow, was this
2 months, bro. My kids would never go anywhere for 2 months.
Is that what Tom's doing?
This is a cheat code. Has Tom gone to what do you call
Sleepaway camp?
Sleepaway camp. Oh my God.
7 weeks. Like, what do you do if you're involved in sports and activities back home?
Like, clearly not.
Yeah. And if you are, then you probably suck at them. If we're being honest.
Jesus.
Ain't no coach has a superstar player saying, yeah, go ahead, have fun 7 weeks at camp.
That's the whole summer.
I mean, he's still young. He's young.
What? But did my parents know about? There's no way they would have been able to afford it, obviously.
No
But if
way.
my parents could have kicked me out of the house for 7 weeks, I mean, no way it would have been able to work with sports and anything.
I thought it was like I've always heard about kids going to summer camp. I did not. I always assumed it was like 2 weeks.
I heard about it like in movies. I think like people talked about movies like doing.
I've heard 2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks.
That's like boarding school almost, but in the summer.
Definitely.
High-end sleepaway camps go for $1,500 a week.
Jesus
So what's that?
Christ.
3,000. $10,000. Is that what it is?
That had to be worked into.
So $10,000 you can sleep in during the summer if you're a parent. Is that what it is? Deal with these kids.
Yeah, but his kid's fucking 12 years old. It's not like, you know, that he has to put him to bed.
Kids are
still
probably
and
just
shit.
like deckhands on yachts for people, I assume is what they're doing.
Out there in the woods.
Yeah.
No screens, all documented.
Just building cabins. Oh, be awesome.
All right, pour some concrete out here. Let's get in there.
That's actually pretty cool.
There's no. Is that what it is?
Build me
not a
pool.
chance.
They build the owner a pool.
Definitely
Kids
nice.
are eating caviar as snacks.
This is
throughout the
wild,
day.
bro.
Blue collar sleepaway camp.
7 weeks, dude. Blue collar sleepaway camp is like scared straight, right?
A couple demo
Hey, you
teams.
see what your dad's friends do?
You
Your
learn,
dad does.
learn how to build a deck.
You're
do some
going to do it
concrete,
now. All right, you're going to do it now, and you're going.
Pipe fitting.
I'm sure you ain't missing any more class, are you?
No way.
You want to fucking do this the rest of your life? You seen your dad do it. You got respect for it. But do you actually want to do it? 8 weeks, no phone, no online, no internet, pouring concrete, digging wires. All right, you'll be set up for the rest of your life.
Sounds fun.
7 weeks is so long. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, it must be a lakefront property. He's
I would
having a
imagine they
nice little
sneak
time.
some electronics in there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Oh,
drugs.
yeah, booze and drugs too, probably. Right? How
I
old?
mean,
are
how
they?
old is
12?
what's the age range?
12 years old, 12 to 15 maybe.
How old's fifth grade? How old's
Like the
fifth grade?
counselors, though, what are they doing? Like, there's got to be like college kids probably running the thing.
Smoking a lot of doobies.
Yeah,
Are,
fifth
are
grade
those
10.
people?
Doobies.
Ripping darts. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine.
They signed up for 7 weeks of their summer to be with a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Probably that's probably a pretty good, easy paying gig.
Yeah, and if that's his
I don't
first
know.
time,
That sounds like a night. That sounds like
Bro, it's
the
herding
worst
cats.
summer of all time.
Yeah, what if they have the blob though, and you get to play?
Bingo.
yeah.
Go karts.
Zeta's looking up the big.
Jeez.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Is this a blank check?
They got a Volvo.
Is that Macintosh?
Holy shit?
I think it's
Richie
heavyweights.
Rich?
Where's the limo driver?
Heavyweights.
It's heavyweights, but without the fat.
We got
Ballet?
shows.
Yeah, fucking.
Oh, there's the blob.
Yeah.
Do it.
There's
Baby
the
blob.
blob.
They're playing paintball.
And they get to meet people, I assume, from all over the place, right?
Wait till
Yeah.
Camp On Water comes over and they fucking do a joint day.
We hold you in our heart. That was more of the blue collar one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Feels like Camp On a Water.
Yeah, I don't know if we have too many Uggs out here.
No
All right,
way.
let's get to a break. This show sucks so bad. Once again, we talked to Von Miller in the first hour. Great conversation. Great conversation about everything. We turned it immediately into something terrible. I mean, immediately afterwards.
About what?
Kia's jump starting.
Oh, yeah. Getting wired, hot wired.
You can steal them easy. They're stealing them all over Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Ohio's the only place. Any place
don't
where
need a
there's
key.
any place where there's blue collar kids, there's Kia's getting hot wired right now.
Yep.
Because Kia, very nice operating vehicle,
Why?
was marketing towards blue collar families. And you let us blue collar kids into something like that, we're gonna figure it out. And guess what? There's gonna be more that is ours than yours. So Kia needs to figure it out. They thought that us, working class kids were a bunch of stooges. Let's give them something nice. A little good leather. They'll fucking appreciate it. And then as soon as a kid like me got in there, it was like, oh, fuck.
All right, let's go to McDonald's.
Let's make a TikTok video about this. Let's make a video about this. Let's let everybody else know about this. And then let's go ahead and do this to every Kia that's in America. And I guess it is just as easy as that, AJ Hawk. I guess that is.
Those are the only ones, right? I think maybe some certain years that the Kia was made, the cop, when my truck was stolen, they're like, oh yeah, they've been taking Kias mainly because you don't need a key, but yeah. And you can take them pretty easy. My kid's teacher got hers stolen.
Jeez.
I love a good joyride story of like some 12-year-old that figured out how to outsmart fucking car manufacturers and then has no idea what they're doing. Only got halfway through the whole process.
Having fun.
They never end, maybe they do devastatingly, but it always seems like a teenage kid that has no clue how to drive steals a car. Massive crash.
Yeah.
Massive crash. Somehow nobody gets hurt, and the kid is just walking into the cop car somehow. It's like, Jesus. That's rolling the dice every single day of those things, though.
I mean, stealing a car is a pretty big crime.
I'd say. Well,
That's why they're having like 15-year-olds do it, because then they won't prosecute them.
Well, it should.
well,
That's
the
smart.
boys are saying GTA's coming back soon, so maybe they'll be able to get it out on the
When did
internet.
it go away?
Scratching that itch.
They haven't. I guess they got a new one coming.
Yep. Has been a new one in a while.
I also want to clarify, there was no kid in the car when I took mine.
Yeah, Zito turned on the wrong Kia that looked like his and just drove off with it.
He drove off. I've opened a car that's not mine, but I haven't got in and drove it.
The key worked in the ignition, like for my keys.
Kia might have a problem there.
Kia has a little bit of a security issue, it sounds like.
He doesn't give a damn.
They've made their money, though.
Exactly.
That's right.
They don't care.
Let's get to a break.
Didn't Blake Griffin dunk over one of them?
Yeah, he
did.
did. It was sweet.
Yeah, that was definitely.
Blake's still playing, right? He's on that Nets team. We should have asked Shams, what's going on with Blake Griffin? Is he going to fucking say, get me out of here or what?
I'm not sure if he's still on the team.
Remember, he paid the Pistons to get out of Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We should have him on sometime.
Do you know him?
Nope, but I know he's done little stand-up sets and he does all kind of stuff.
I'm a fan of Blake Griffin.
Yeah, he's
Me
awesome.
too.
I'm a fan of his. I would love to chat with him. I don't know if he's going to ever come on the show. We don't know.
He's got a twin brother.
Somebody just did something where I said, is Kris Jenner his manager? Who was it?
Big Hurt.
No.
Yeah, you just said it yesterday.
No.
Just talking about
No, we were just Khaled?
DJ
DJ
Khaled.
Khaled.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is.
Is DJ? Do you think he's repped by Kris Jenner?
Why?
He's on everything.
Is Shaq repped by Kris Jenner?
I think Shaq runs Shaq's business, but
he does.
DJ Khaled was running ESPN's music for a while. Now he's presenting the PGA FedEx Cup Championship.
Really?
DJ,
Yeah, he's explaining rules.
33 pounds. He's looking at it, the trophy.
Trying to get a younger demo to watch golf.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, this is the PGA versus Live battle. They bring in DJ Khaled. Not a bad move because he even ends it with another one. It was really good.
Did you see him explaining rules in the hot tub too?
No.
Oh yeah, he's explaining rules in the hot tub.
To golf?
Yeah, to golf.
Where are these
Butt-ass
commercials
naked.
or these like?
He's a spokesperson for PGA now.
Yeah, I was on the PGA Tour social for the explaining rules one.
Yeah.
DJ motherfucking Khaled. Let's
Is
go.
the commissioner Jay Monahan next to him in the hot tub?
Yes.
Well, that's an interesting thing because
Khaled's smart. He's just leveraging Liv. He knows Liv's going to send him a big offer now.
Oh yeah, DJ Khaled, incredible businessman. I think he opened for Beyonce for her stadium tour for a long time. That was after he was doing his Lion. That whole run. He's everywhere. DJ Khaled is everywhere. That's why I wondered if Kris Jenner is repping him. There is some news coming out of the FedEx Cup though, happening this weekend or whatever. Scotty Scheffler just stepped on Com Smith's line. And Com Smith is rumored to have gone to Live, for $100 million at least. And, Com Smith might have been a little bit on edge thinking everybody was going to be against him there at the PGA Base Championship. Scotty Scheffler walks right in front of him while he was reading the line, while he was doing the whole thing. And Com Smith goes, what's this guy's fucking problem?
What's up?
And then later they hugged each other. It's not a big deal, but the internet is ready for Com Smith and the PGA folks to get into it this weekend. And we already saw a little glimpse of it. And it was Scotty Scheffler pissed about a miss, accidentally walking in front of Com. And then it was, oh no, it's already going down. NWO has entered the PGA. It's a battle. So I am intrigued to kind of watch that all unfold, though, AJ. That's a real storyline in golf right now.
I know. Trust me. If Scotty Scheffler's out there spearing dudes on the green because he's pissed that they joined Liv, I will absolutely watch more.
I think him and Rory and Jordan and Justin Thomas, they might play a game of Red Rover.
Yeah. St. Campbell.
Out there. I'm not 100% sure. All right, let's get to a break. Golf is going to be awesome just because, by the way, golf viewership's up and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So Jay Monahan coming out saying all the bad stuff about everything. It's like, these motherfuckers might actually save your business, Jay.
Did you happen to see what Faraday said yesterday?
Was that real?
I thought it was.
I thought it was as well.
What?
That appeared to be a quote that people would think was real because the person it was coming from, but definitely the internet had its way with.
Right.
Like the McVay one almost.
Yes, but that one was real.
That was real, yeah. And that's why I thought it was real strictly because
Ben Simmons leaving the group text we thought was real because that is something that Ben Simmons might do in a hilarious fashion.
Right.
Of not caring about anybody.
Yeah. There's a Justin Fields one also.
Turns out that was not true.
Yeah.
Faraday said, grow the game. Fuck that, dude.
No,
they
it's
paid
real.
me a bunch of money. What are we even talking about? That's
On why he went to
I
Live.
read cancel culture or something.
Well, I didn't see that.
Said he cited cancel culture for one of the reasons.
When asked why he
makes
made the
sense.
jump, he said money. Continuing, he said, people don't talk about it. I hear, well, it's to grow the game. Bull. They paid me a lot of money.
All right.
Beast.
There it is. Put it on
At least
ticker.
he's honest.
We're back in 4 with some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4 McAfee. Kirk Cousins opened up a little bit about his relationship with Mike Zimmer. Peyton Manning helped Kenny Pickett decide on whether or not he should go back to school. That's a big deal, just in text messages. Jordan Davis for the Eagles seems to be awesome, and more on the other side. We'll see you in 4. Hey. It's a big fucking fire. We are in the back corner of that building that is at the bottom there. That smoke smells. Huh?
Yeah.
The paint from that place, the utilities, the plastic.
All the good stuff, yeah.
That's all just floating right into us.
Yeah.
The guy just came to the building. If the fire moves a little more this way, We have to evacuate.
Yeah, it's got to be like the air conditioning units or something up there.
It's currently under investigation right now. It did spread to the roof and to the air conditioning heating unit up on the roof.
John Robinson says,
holy shit.
Whoa.
Holy
Or did
fuck.
something like...
What was the explosion, you think?
They're doing a bunch of fire hydrants out there, so maybe the top of the lid fell off. I don't know.
Dude, it was a loud.
That sound came from right there.
They just put the fire out. Fire's out.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Forget all about that. You're like, I can do that again.
So we just lost power in the middle of one of the greatest promos in the history by pound for pound, #1 fighter in the world. Come on, he literally just cut a promo about what it's like to walk to the ring.
Some guys, they stay afraid and they just kind of get smaller and smaller. But as for guys like myself, as you get closer, this alpha, this giant, this lion, this god-like figure per se starts to grow and grow and grow and grow. And then they grease me up, and then I step up there, and then I pray for myself, and then I pray for that guy.
And I got like chills almost while he was talking about it. And right before he was about to kind of put a bow on it, the entire thing just shut down. There's a fire right next door. Let's assume they cut off all the electricity. We're fucked. Probably for the next few hours. That's good. Hey, boys, we handled it. Good show. The ticker's still kicking. Hey, let's type something on his ticker. So just go on your computer. I'll type in the
You want me to email Sirius?
Please do.
Okay.
You want to just who's going to see you later? Yeah, because this probably can take a little bit. Call office. Just lost. Bill! Yeah. This thing just froze. Oh, jeez. This is great.
He said the fire department just cut it. They have no idea how long.
That was really good by Usman, too. All of the power in our office just went out. Unexpected, out of nowhere. This shit is getting real out here. Hope everybody's okay. Obviously, they got the fire contained, which is good news. But we apologize for the show ending abruptly out of nowhere. No injuries, I believe, is what's being reported. The fire was massive. We all had to huff like paint and shit from the fire right next to our studio. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Cheers. You hear us, AJ?
I do hear it. It's good.
I'll tell you what. Edwin Diaz has got me listening to very high BPMs, horn sections, techno songs on a regular basis driving in the morning. People have to be, because this morning it was like 72 degrees. It was like perfect window down weather. This is the first window down weather in a while here in Indiana because it's been so goddamn thick, you know what I mean? Window down weather, me playing, people pulling up next to me had to, because I'm in there the whole time, just like ready to go. In 2 preseason games tonight, AJ, this is a good time. Yeah. AJ Hawk, obviously the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Tonight, Giants take on the Patriots at 7:01 p.m. on what channel? Anybody know?
NFL Network, I believe.
NFL Network, and then 7:31 Titans Ravens, same channel. Are they gonna?
I don't think that one's televised.
Ah, of course.
Let me make sure, though. Let me make sure.
That NFL Plus, maybe.
Yeah.
You can listen to the whole thing. I have no idea.
No, you can watch it.
What can we learn out of these games tonight, AJ Hawk? What can we learn actually from any of these preseason games? What should we be thinking looking into it?
Well, I mean, I think first, if any team has like their rookies playing, you can see what do the rookies look like. Those guys are going to be going hard. Their first like legit NFL experience. But are any starting quarterbacks playing tonight?
Danny Dimes.
Yeah, Danny Dimes.
But we don't know if he's going to be starting quarterback, right? Art Saperson said we're going to win 4 or 5 games, and this is Daniel Jones's final year to prove it. So that means Daniel Jones, if he wins 5, 6 games, 4 or 5 games, he's not going to be proven. He's going to be out of there. And I know that sometimes film can lead us astray, especially when a new offense is being instituted. But I don't know if Giants fans are all in on Daniel. Like, Daniel Jones could fucking turn a lot of people in this preseason game. He's playing against nobody that will be playing in the NFL this upcoming season. He's doing an offense that he'll only learn more and more and better throughout the week. But that first impression Daniel Dimes has, if it looks anything similar to what past years have looked like, it's going to be hard for those Giants fans not to be like, of course, another mail it in year here.
Done with it.
Let's just hand it off Saquon, and Saquon will, like, you know, get a cramp and everything. Oh, he's out for an entire year. It's just, I wonder if there's any optimism in that. And the Giants playing Daniel Jones leads into the Colts are starting Matt Ryan this weekend. Matt Ryan's playing this weekend. He's in what year? Year 16, 17? He's in there real late. He's playing in the new offense. I guess it's just kind of a mindset of both the players, right? If the players don't want to play, the coaches have to hear them. The coaches will hear them.
Especially your quarterback.
Yeah, but like Matt Ryan, if Matt Ryan didn't want to play in this game, I assume
he wouldn't be playing.
Matt Ryan's not playing. But him wanting to play, I think Colts fans are pumped up about it. Naturally, they're like, all right, Matt Ryan wants to play. Yeah, he's old school. Yeah, he wants to play. Are they keeping score? Yeah, we want Matt Ryan in there. Like, I respect it. I appreciate it. If Matt Ryan gets fucking hurt in this preseason game.
If he gets hit at all.
I'm going to be furious. And
You'll get rid of it. Chuck told you. Remember, Chuck said, hand the ball off, hand the ball off. Oh, quick slant. Here we go. Get off the field.
Yeah, like I think Matt Ryan's tough enough, durable enough, and smart enough to get himself out of any harm's way at this point in the NFL, especially against lesser competition that he's probably going to see on the other side of the ball in a preseason game. So it's not that I don't trust Matt Ryan. But if some fluke thing happens, there's going to be a lot of people that question him immediately, just like with the Giants. If some fluke thing happens with Daniel Jones, it'll get questioned immediately. It's kind of it's no win. There's a no-winning situation.
Definitely no win
for anybody.
Think about if he plays bad, Daniel Jones plays bad, they're going to say, oh, my gosh, here we go again. Like, he's not the answer. He's not going to be our guy. If he plays good, you say, oh, who cares? He's playing against guys that they're second, third teamers. Doesn't matter. So you better go out there and hopefully play well. And they say, hey, this new offense that Daboll has, we see some flashes where this could be special. And then you hopefully build up momentum throughout the preseason.
I like being an optimist, you know? Yeah. I see a cup half full, or let's get a smaller cup. That son of a bitch is all the way up. Shout out to Jim Irsay for giving me that perspective. But there is no win, okay? You win a preseason game, who cares? You won a preseason game. You lose a preseason game, you lost a preseason game, people care. You get a guy hurt after playing a guy, you played a guy, your fans are happy, he's tough, he wants to play, the team loves playing, you get him hurt. Why'd you play this guy in a game that doesn't matter? You don't play your guys, and you start off slow in the regular season. You should have played the guys in preseason. This is a no-win situation for anybody. Front office members, coaches, players, it's set up for failure before it even starts. But we should still enjoy these games. Of course, let's enjoy these games. Ain't the right time.
Tomorrow, 4 of the 5 games are playing starters, and one of those being. Is there anything to gain from Deshaun starting tomorrow night?
Okay, so I think Ty wanted to ask this question to Rappaport, and you might have heard him actually into the microphone when I was looking over at the boys to see what their question was, because we were trying to get Ian Rappaport out of there. It seemed like he was in the middle of a lot, didn't want to take up too much of his time. So I look over, I say, boys, what do you want to talk about? And Connor goes, James White. I go, okay. And then Ty goes, Deshaun. Into the microphone. Did you hear it?
I didn't hear it, no.
Oh, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome because we go, oh, Ty, like we could hear it, and Ty goes, oh, he points at the microphone, oh, that's on me. But Deshaun starting caused quite a ripple across all sports media because the NFL and Roger Goodell has come out and said things that we never expected Roger Goodell to say. Roger Goodell is one of the greatest dancers around shit in the history of dancing around shit, in the history of people trying to avoid topics that they don't want to talk about. That's why Roger Goodell gets paid $60 million a year to do what he does. And whenever he walked in the House Oversight Committee, he said, excuse me, motherfuckers that have been voted in to do this, let me show you how saying nothing while talking really goes down. Instead, he came out and he buried Deshaun, basically. He was the one who said it was predatory behavior. Sue Robinson found that. He broke many violations. He found that. It was kind of unexpected for Roger Goodell to do such a thing because it almost lit that conversation up even more into a standpoint of the detractors of Deshaun in the NFL for this guy even having a job. Now, we are one day removed from Deshaun Watson starting an NFL game, a preseason game, probably playing a significant amount because he hasn't played any meaningful football in a long time, and he's definitely not playing for at least the first 6 weeks. It's going to be a Deshaun show tomorrow, and that has to be the last thing that Roger Goodell wants or the NFL wants to happen, but here we are, and this is reality.
Yeah, so do you think the Browns are like, all right, we want to get this guy reps because we know he's going to miss at least 6 weeks when very well could be the whole season? So is that their thing? Like, hey, let's get him some reps with the number 1 O-line because are they going to keep Deshaun in when they take the 1 O-line out? That very rarely would ever happen.
So not just with the 1-0 line, but with Stefanski calling plays, the rhythm, hey, this is what it's like, this is our interactions during the game. I think there's a lot that can be learned from playing when a first-time offense, especially as a quarterback, with the play call in the head coach, how warm-ups go, right, with the Browns, that's a big deal. People practice what their warm-up looks like. When you come out, where you come out, what's individual, who's practicing where. All that shit, I think, is good to learn. So when regular season happens, you don't have to think about anything. He doesn't have a regular season coming, so I'd assume they're going to play his ass off, and the convo is just going to be about Deshaun looks just as good at football, or he looks terrible, and he's bringing a bunch of distractions. It is a big day tomorrow for Deshaun Watson, I think. You know, I mean, this is a big day tomorrow for the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson, and the NFL. And it's going to be tough for those announcers and commentators, right, not to just talk about that the entire time. Tomorrow.
Yeah, who's on that game?
I don't know. That's a great question.
When does, like, so if he's starting, is Jacoby's like work with the ones in the practice obviously enough, or does it transition maybe game 2, Jacoby's with the ones and Deshaun comes in?
This is what I think is going to happen. Jacoby's with the ones, they come off. Deshaun's with the 2s and the 3s. That's what I think is going to happen.
What about this first game, though?
They put out a picture, the Browns put out a tweet and said starters are going Friday night, and the picture was Deshaun Watson. So I don't know.
How about the Browns being like, we're going to turn off the replies, but we would like to let you know this is what's going down, pretty much. I mean, what's he going to, aside from off the field, and he's not playing this season, right? I mean, we all see that?
It sure seems like that, right? When Raj Goodell has that strong of language about somebody that we have never really seen him publicly do that before.
And the person he appointed to here is he appointed
his guy.
You know, which goes back to the entire process that the NFLPA had to be celebrating. And I know that this situation, everybody's on the same page here. But the NFLPA, after earning this third-party independent judiciary system in the process to get rid of Goodell, they sent emails, I bet, and videos to every player in the NFL. Look what we did. Nobody thought it. In a unprecedented move in professional sports, we have got an independent judge that we will both jointly appoint to hear. It'll be a fair and everything. And then Roger was like, yeah, sweet. Did you guys read addendum fucking 7,480 in this deal? Because it says all roads lead back to Roger Goodell, brother. And that is kind of what it is going to be an entire season, right? It feels like it's going to be an entire season for Deshaun Watson.
At this point, how could it not be? The question is, when does it happen? When does Raj let us know, or his appointee let us know?
We are Jacoby Brissett fans around here. No. But with Jimmy G just sitting there.
Yeah.
And a team ready to go. And I think Lombo's been calling this for a few weeks now, right? Lombo, Michael Lombardi, he's been calling this for a few weeks. Like, Cleveland just needs to fucking say, all right, Niners, what do you need? And then, by the way, these first couple preseason games here, let Deshaun play. Jimmy's still trying to learn the fucking system, can watch the system, learn the system, and then boom, you drop his ass in the regular season. He's your starter. He can go at least 6. No offense, Jacoby. Jacoby's a dog. I like Jacoby. Jimmy G, though, wins.
Yeah.
In the exact situation that the Browns are in right now, that roster is in, Jimmy G has had a track record of winning in a very similar situation with the Niners. It just seems like that is almost destiny at this point.
Yeah, and what Rap Sheet said. I mean, the Browns can pay the entire contract if they want, so they wouldn't have to give up like a top pick.
Third rounder.
Yeah, fourth
Most cap
even.
space in the NFL right now.
Yeah, they have, and if they can do the entire $20 million on their own, which they can, then I mean I think third is even pushing it. Like I think they go fourth or fifth rounder for him.
Jeez, for your starter for an entire season probably. What a time to be alive. Jimmy G's just working out with the boys, listed as a fourth stringer, and Shanahan said, we have to put him on there because he's on our roster. We wouldn't. I like that they're handling it this way. This is Trey Lance's team.
Yeah.
This is Trey Lance's team, AJ.
They're open. I like that they're actually open with us. There's no like dumb secrecy. He's like, yeah, hey, weird situation, but we want to take care of everybody here.
We love Jimmy G. We appreciate Jimmy G. Everybody understands the business, though. This is Trey Lance's team. We need Jimmy G not to distract anything from that. He understands it, too, by the way. Jimmy G understands it as well. Let's go ahead and just see what happens. They're handling it well. We have some footage from a Shanahan-led team meeting. I'm excited to go through that. He seems like a cool guy to play for. And a lot of other shit to chat about, including Tua, talking about how he addresses his haters.
Oh, yeah.
Pat McAfee Show continues on the other side of this 2-minute break.
McAfee, who shocked the world back in WrestleMania with a victory over Theory. He is captivated. Oh! And a super kick to Corbin. Happy Corbin. And McAfee, Hurricane Rana from the top rope. And now Corbin set out of the ring. And McAfee surprising again. McAfee looking to put him away. Superplex! Of course, the rope's obviously very slippery with the humidity here. McAfee taking his time, going up to the top rope. Check this out. McAfee looking for the Swanton Bambini for the brand. Back to his feet. McAfee leapfrog over Corbin. Oh, looking quick for the end of days. Right hand. Referee Charles Robinson knocked down. McAfee laying. Payback for last night. Payback for last night. A blatant low blow for what happened on SmackDown. McAfee up over the top, shoulders down. McAfee got it. McAfee got it. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat McAfee has done it again. You got lucky. Well, you shouldn't have talked trash about him, maybe. But for Pat McAfee, it's time to toast the boys and toast the brand. Last time I tried to drink on the job, you made me take a week off.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Tom Brady has posted on his Instagram story since the story has come out that he'll be out the next 9 days. He congratulated James White on his retirement. Hour 3 starts now.
Here we go, atta baby.
You're a prick.
Got it. Come on. You didn't say it either.
I literally, that's not how. Do you want me to say it? Going
Yeah,
forward?
you're supposed to. What, are we not a team?
No.
Well, how am I supposed to breathe? Let me get some fucking breath exercises in so I can do that entire thing, and then also the call to the entire thing.
That's not your thing.
You see me been running out of breath sometime. I think it's because the allergies have been getting to my lungs. You know, it's a whole new me. But he wants me to continue to go. Who am I? Fucking Michael Phelps, David Blaine, the guy that held his breath for fucking 6 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you think this is, AJ?
Yeah, I look forward to the time when you figure that out and you can do it.
Start it.
In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this. Oh my God, there's 2 preseason games tonight. Thursday, August 11th starts now. Here we go, baby. That's right, AJ Hawk riding the wave into another spectacular hour 3 of sports conversation here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show and SiriusXM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio. The man to my left, your right, is Aaron James Hawk. This guy is the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. In the helmet-to-helmet era, this man tackled more people than anybody in the history of the Green Bay Packers. 0 documented concussions, which leads me to this point. Other Green Bay Packer legend, A.J. Hawk, has come out and said that he has gotten over 1,000 concussions. If what the modern science is saying is a concussion is an actual concussion, that being Brett Favre. What are your thoughts on this, AJ? Obviously incredibly sad to see any former player have these types of issues, but Brett Favre is saying now, based on modern understandings of concussions, he believed he suffered thousands of them during his 20-year NFL career. I don't think he's the only one, by the way. I've had teammates that once they learned that, like, oh, just getting dinged, like that's actually a concussion. It's like, oh, I got dinged every single quarter of my every single practice, every single everything. What are your thoughts on that, AJ? And do you still believe that your thick cranium was able to be defeated 0 times in your NFL run?
No, it's not about being defeated or not. Like, getting a concussion is not being defeated. That's just
no, your cranium, your brain.
Cranium being defeated. Yeah, but I mean, no, this is, believe me, when I was young, like when I was in college, in the NFL early, like I always said, what is a concussion? Like, what determines what makes this a concussion compared to something not a concussion? So I think we still have a lot out there that we don't know, but this is terrible if Brett really legit feels like he had over 1,000 concussions. I mean, that's a ton.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of science since Dr. Will Smith's movie came out.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of pills that people are trying to create to help cognitive brain function. And I think there's a lot of people trying to like correct, because it's not just NFL players, obviously. It's a lot of other sports that have head-to-head contact and trauma. Military, a lot of that, because as we learn what is actually a concussion, to your point when that question was being asked, it used to be like, well, your brain hits off the side of your head and then you're out of like, you can't operate.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you have to be completely knocked out to do a concussion. Then, like, as things continue to roll, it's like, well, not really. Like, if you see a little stars but you keep going, like, your brain probably did enough damage that it should be considered a concussion. Then it was like, some people don't even know they're getting concussions from a buildup of a bunch of small hits. And it's like, I don't know what the actual thing is. We should probably look into that, and science will continue to evolve on it. But I do hope we find something that can hopefully help guys afterwards, because we've all seen, in multiple sports, in multiple fields, what guys become, both, the way their cognitive function, I assume their life, their moods, everything that is affected by it, hopefully we'll be able to make it a much better place in the future. And I hope science is working on that, whatever the fuck that means. Is that researchers, doctors, whatever? I hope somebody's working on that for the future, AJ.
Yeah, I've talked to people that have had some issues and they've gone, there's different things like where I don't know what works and what doesn't, but guys have had some good results with like this different laser type stuff. They scan their brain to try to find which areas may have been impacted the most, and then they can kind of, I don't know. A couple guys told me they've actually felt better, but they've had to go through multiple times, like 15, 20, 30 treatments.
Yeah, I wonder if there will ever be, probably not, right? Because, I mean, we talked to Dr.
Neuralink, Elon Musk is trying to do it with Neuralink, where he could, if you can't walk, he wants to put Neuralink in your head, and all of a sudden you can walk. It'll somehow communicate and get you to do that.
I don't know if now's the time to get in this conversation because I'm not sure I've done enough research, but like my college strength coach, Mike Barwis, I've seen, he runs gym now. I've seen people that they have like got the brain and the muscles back from paralysis to like being able to walk, and like brain being retaught almost. What once just a few years ago, maybe decades ago, people thought was lost. Like now there is a way that you can retrain parts of the brain and muscles that they thought they wouldn't be able to do so. Like I've watched fucking like miracles happen on his Instagram, and I've like sent a DM like, hey, is this should be talked about, I think. Like this is a pretty massive deal, but I think it all kind of revolves around more brain information. Like, and that's an interesting thing. Brains studying brains and brains not being able to figure out why brains are the way brains are. Like that
everybody's brain reacts differently too to trauma and whatever's going on. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's a weird, I don't know where we go. I think we're just scratching the surface. Obviously, we know nothing.
We need people to start diving into that, though.
So you gotta be careful too, because then you run into an RD 4895 situation.
Ooh.
Well, for those that haven't seen Terminal List, that is certainly an inside baseball joke. But basically in medicine that created whatever the case. Nonetheless, you're right. You're right. Who knows how do you get to testing to do that without
Wasn't that the problem too? Is like most of the brain research, it's from people who have already died, and like they donate their brains for the research. Like I don't know how much stuff they can actually do while a person is still living to try to like correct it.
Yeah, and how much
forward.
different is my brain while it's live than whenever it's dead? Just a little bit. Even if I donate it, I would assume because it's alive, it's a functioning thing.
Well, in some of the brains I've looked at too, since it's not active and there are a lot of like holes in it, isn't that kind of the whole entire thing? Is like when Hernandez died, for instance, they said that he had like terrible CTE because when they looked at the brain, there was all these parts of it that just weren't working for a long time.
The brain is so fascinating, isn't it? I mean, it is.
I'd say, yeah. The different areas and what controls what. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird world.
I'm so intrigued, but I don't know because like there's all these supplements that fuckers are selling.
Nootropics, but that's not really that's more to like operate like, I don't know, like focus and all that. I don't think that's to help brain trauma.
To bring back brain cells?
I don't know if they definitely can't claim that. They may hope it does.
You mean like alpha brain?
Yeah, because like
Bill Romanowski has one too.
What's that?
Like nootropics, he has different supplements like that he sells.
Because if it happens in different areas too, right? Because Dr. Myron Roll, former NFL player, he went through everything from the medulla oblongata all the way up to the front thing here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And each
What's
part.
the most important?
Well, it depends. Like the emotion's up here in the front right, but the rest of the right is basically an air pad. I didn't like hearing that. I didn't like hearing that because that's where the emotion is and everything like that. I think right here is the most important part. This is the memories, pal. This is probably the good old times.
Yeah.
This is where things really, because if those get fucked up, then you're living kind of lonely and empty, right? I mean, that's a whole thing.
Well, and that's like dementia.
Is that Alzheimer's dementia?
Yeah, exactly. So like there's already a problem.
And then front left is a very important one. I forget what that fucking lobe does.
It's like creativity and stuff like that, right?
So it depends where you have your injury, I guess. So how can they cure it all? I don't know. I have no idea. I wish they would let us, without having to use ayahuasca and other stuff, just use the whole fucking brain, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Too powerful.
Hey, brain, just fucking let me in. You know, let me die.
When are they going to do transplants? They're going to be able to transplant brains eventually?
So I remember I looked at one thing up where they were doing a full body transplant. And it was like,
You mean the cryo freeze?
Well, no, you're actually just slicing your head off with the whole thing and then putting a new body on. This was like 10 years
Like
ago.
Chris Angel?
No, that was the hips and waist of the wrong person on a different person.
Right.
Yeah,
I did find out from meeting Chris Angel out at SummerSlam, though, that they were able to put the legs back on the proper.
Good.
Thank
Good to know.
Yeah, so it wasn't new legs, new chest day.
Sure.
Okay, it was. They did end up making it back. That was part of the magic.
Phew.
You all right?
I'm good. I'm just picturing the first time you meet him, that's the first thing you ask him.
Chris, I've been mean to ask. My mind was freaked, dude.
Yeah.
All right, it was. When you just started switching pants and shit with everybody, did they get them back? Oh, yeah, bro. Don't worry about it. All right, let's talk about the football pants. I didn't do that. I love Chris Angel.
He's the man.
Yeah.
I love Chris Angel.
Everybody does.
Both of them.
But yeah, I guess there was an Italian doctor, I do believe, was doing a full body transplant. So once I saw that, and I was in the era of like, I want to live forever, I was like, okay, you just got to keep the brain intact. You know, all right, just keep the brain intact. If everything else goes, cool. I'll actually get, maybe I'm an 18-year-old again. Put the body on. I got the wise, like 99 years, hopefully, 100 years. Give me the body of an 18-year-old. Nice. I'm fucking back. I might be in the majors. I might play baseball.
Seriously.
I might become, who knows what'll happen. Like a lot of super happiness came. And if you have anything wrong with your body, who cares? Like, you just can't go out with the brain. Now, if they're able to change the brain out and put that back in there,
wow.
Now we're winning.
There is a Jordan Peele film, actually, Get Out, where you do actually take over somebody's brain. Much different way, but it is.
Is it anything
similar.
like Nope?
I assume. I haven't seen Nope yet, though.
Why not?
I've been thinking about going to it, especially on some of these Sundays, but it's been pretty nice during the weekend. You
How
can
is
go
it?
outside.
What's that?
That movie.
I'm not talking about. He doesn't like people talking about his movies.
And the end
Oh, Jordan Peele doesn't?
Yeah, they have their trailer preview things are just like basically it. Nothing else getting out. Excuse me. Don't ruin our movie.
Yeah.
It's a process. It's an experience, and it certainly was.
Yeah, he banned LaShawn McCoy from seeing it since he ruined Avengers.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Disrespect, I guess, is just showing up in the comments.
Whoa.
Hey, Doc, I want to let you know that 62-yard ball that got caught high. George Kittle caught that thing high from training camp. So let's say that at least goes another 3-4 yards. 66-yard huck. Dr. Disrespect at San Francisco 49er camp. Did you see that shit?
I did, but explain to me exactly what he does and who he is.
Oh,
Jesus,
AJ.
you fucking noob.
Is that what you're talking about? This guy
I'm
is
a mark. You guys are
two-time.
marks for him. I'm just telling me, what does he do?
Two-time. Back-to-back. Just dominates and wins everything. Okay, this guy's a champion. He's an athlete. He's a stallion.
It's a great throw. I saw it.
Yeah, he'd be. Hey, listen, I got great respect for Pistol and everything like that. Dr. Disrespect would be your stepdaddy if he wanted to be. You hear me, AJ? You hear me? You hear that?
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Pistol didn't deserve that. I got great respect for him, but that's what Dr. Disrespect is.
I was trying to do that for Pistol and his buddies that probably that watch the show. Like, who is Dr. Disrespect? Because that age group does not know.
He threw a fucking dime. He is great. He is one of the most electrifying humans I've ever laid eyes on. Never met him. Never, ever. Had a couple, potential setup conversations that were going to take place. Fell through, whatever the case is. We were going to once have I don't know if it was his people or FanDuel was pitching. Somebody was pitching for him to have him throw and me punt. Who could hit a ball further? And I'll tell you what, 65 yards, that is... Dr. Disrespect just called you a son of a bitch, by the way.
Oh, AJ,
So
Mark.
good news is, probably not going to be your stepdaddy. Just called your mom a bitch. But also, he did not appreciate what you were doing there.
What, trying to open him up to a larger audience? My bad, Dr. Disrespect.
Oh,
shit. We got beat.
Dr. Disrespect doesn't understand marketing? Is that what AJ's saying? You
Sounds
don't
like
understand anything, AJ. Dr. Disrespect is a mogul, but I did not expect him to be able to throw a ball 65 yards. Now, with that being said, if I was to be punting a ball, my knee probably just snaps in place immediately upon the ball being snapped. But yeah, I was incredibly impressed by that man. You should see him play video games, AJ. He plays no fucking games with anybody.
Yeah, and you do not want to talk shit, AJ, because he is a big son of a bitch. He's
6'6", 6'7".
Huge. Got a PhD in disrespect.
Boom.
Yeah.
He's a doctor of philosophy and what? Disrespecting folks.
Think about it.
I'm glad you're putting this information out there. It's the first time you'll talk about him on the show.
Oh,
Not true.
That's not true.
You're a clown.
What a joke, dude. What's up, Doc? That was very impressive. Hashtag athlete is what I commented on the video. That is very impressive.
Yeah.
And it was on a line, too. Like, it was on a little bit of a rope. I don't think anybody... Is that a college ball or NFL ball?
Jeez. Who cares?
I think it's...
That thing's going 66.
Full uniform.
Looks like a Duke.
It's probably a Duke.
looks like an
It's got to
NFL
be a
ball.
Duke.
Duke's the best ball. Best
Kittle
ball
ain't
owner.
catching anything but a Duke, so.
Yeah, Kittle did kind of say, well, we're not going to let that ball go much further.
You're right, too. He really did. He backed up a little, caught it right at his chest.
Yeah, so whenever you're punting or kicking, and somebody's catching like kickoffs or something.
Yeah.
And it's a kicker drill, and somebody's catching. It's like, can you let that fall so I can see how far? Because it'll like hit somebody and just boom, and it's like, well, that thing would have won another 6 yards, which I assume what Disrespect is thinking upon watching this entire thing. But Kittle was probably mind blown. 66 yard ball is a big ball for anybody, let alone a video game god. You know what I mean?
Don't you think there's NFL quarterbacks that might not be able to throw a ball on a rope 65 yards?
Yeah. Now, granted, there are wide receivers that can go grab a ball and throw it 85 yards.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit. How does that happen? But Dr. Disrespect should be incredibly proud of that arm, and he knew it, though. He knew what
Doc
was going
knew.
on.
Yeah.
Doc knew. He's
He
been
always
working on
knows.
it. And he hates A.J. Hawk now, which makes him even better.
Yeah.
That's
Every Doc.
He's a big Niners fan, too.
You're
so
welcome, Doc.
It almost plays perfectly into the entire
Packers,
thing.
Niners this week.
Yeah, let's not just this week. Also, definitely
Last
on a
couple
collision
of
course
years.
in the NFC playoffs every single year. Let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers a little bit. Got a chance to see Shanahan at work in a team meeting. The team meeting room looked incredibly cool, by the way. You'll see in the background there'll be like a cooler and everything. He seems to be pretty relaxed. I like the way he talks to his team, though. This is from Brick by Brick, which I believe is on the San Francisco 49ers YouTube and social media page. Here's a look inside the mindset of this year's 49ers team.
Our expectations, guys, aren't to just make this team. Your expectations got to be so much more. And I think collectively, we have that as much as any 32 teams in the league. That's why I don't have to sit up here and talk about it. I've seen how you guys have been. I know who's been working here. I know who's been working away. I'm not worried about anyone. I'm ready to go to work, and all you guys are. How do we get our team the best we can in a limited amount of time? We have it planned out. trust us with it, communicate with us, and let's go to work, all right?
Yeah, let's go fucking work, dude. I like the way Shanahan talks to his team. I always assumed he's a super cool dude. Him drunk on the beach, throwing from one house to the other. I'm like, I like that guy. It seems like his team likes him. But growing up in a football family, understanding that you have to have the respect of the players, I really like that Niners team. They've been so fucking good for so long. New quarterback, same Shanahan, same expectations, it sounds like, AJ.
Don't you think you would enjoy playing for this guy? He seems like somebody who doesn't waste his players' time. Like he's like, hey, this is what we're doing. I don't need to sit up here, say a bunch of garbage, and give you some pump-up speech. Like, this is the plan. Communicate with us, and let's go. So I mean, I've always said I think he's an unbelievable play caller, and he's probably growing into becoming a great leader, which he already has been.
He's a little bit upset about the NFL's new policy on hats.
Can he not wear his flat bill, or what is
that
it?
an NFL-approved hat?
Well, in practice and in team meeting and on San Francisco 49ers social media, you can do what you got to do.
Okay.
But if you're going to be standing on a sideline of one of our fucking fields in front of 70,000 people, you're going to be wearing a hat that people are going to buy from our store right now. You look so cool, Kyle. You look so cool. We ain't selling none of those fucking hats you wear on the sideline. So guess what we're doing now? You're wearing new hats, our hats, and they're going to look like shit. We don't care because we're trying to sell 1 million and millions of them. That sideline approved apparel was always hilarious. Always hilarious because it's like, it's a big deal for somebody that's new to the NFL, like getting one of those jackets or a hat, like a sideline apparel. Like, that's a big fucking deal. Big flex on social media for people these days. Like, oh, like, look at this shit. Check it. But then if you're in the league, though, the new year comes in and you always have to wonder, like, what's the new bullshit they're going to force us to wear? Like, my head, not built for those flat bills. I have the largest head on earth. Have to wear this one ugly ass flat bill. Okay, can't wear it. Guess I got to wear it backwards. Oh, now I'm a backwards hat guy. Even though I'm not a backwards hat guy, it just so happens that I have to wear this fucking hat. That's a whole thing, AJ. That really is an entire thing every season.
Yeah, because they pay millions and millions of dollars to put everybody in that gear. So I understand actually the league coming in saying, hey, cool hats, you look sweet, man, but game days, we're trying to make some money here.
Hey, pal, that's not from the NFL shop anymore. And if we have a Throwback Thursday week, oh, guess what? You can wear all the shit you want. But you're wearing this new stuff that everybody hates in your age bracket. You know why? Because the young kids like it, and they're going to buy all of them. So you can fuck right off, Kyle Shanahan. He said, I got a little beef with him. I don't blame him. I like that team over there, though. And if you're in the NFC, what? It's the Niners you're worried about, the Rams you're worried about, the Packers you're worried about?
Bucks, maybe.
And Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even though Tom Brady's potentially on a trip. Speaking of that, joining us now is a Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers within the last 2 years. A man who played for the Bucks, coached for the Bucks, and also had a decade-long career in Arizona, Baltimore, Indianapolis, Philly, and Pittsburgh. He's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, center from Penn State University. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley. Always in the gym.
Here we go. We got to play this fucking game again.
Well, it's not a game, okay? You just move one side or the other. You sit down. Hey, listen. Everybody else that comes on the show, which was 7 people yesterday, have been able to figure it out. We assume you, with your big brain from your gym, will be able to figure it out. Hey, even Mark Caboli. Even fucking Mark Caboli and Art Stapleton.
Tell my guy Maraldo to fucking pipe down from the back over there.
Whoa!
What's your fucking problem,
I don't
dude?
even think he said anything, AK. What's the hostility? We're having a great day.
Jeez Louise.
What's your deal?
It's Thursday.
You're in the gym, pumping iron, drinking testosterone.
Right.
You all right?
No more drug tests for me, buddy.
Hey, it's a good time. It's a good time. I mean, if you find anything that works, go ahead and send it to your friend in Indiana. Speaking of sending stuff to your friend in Indiana, remember last year you gave news to your college friend that got out that BA and Tom Brady hated each other. That came from AQ Shipley, obviously, and we were upset with that because we go live every day. We thought we were pretty close with you. You didn't tell us that information. Now, the rest of the media world did not believe that you did not give that info, even though you got thrown directly under a bus, and that's never happened before. You got fucking murdered. It wasn't worth it. This year, I would like you to just spill everything you know right now so there's none of those situations potentially in the future. You have a lot of friends back with the Bucs. Tom Brady leaving for 9 days in the middle of training camp. Ian Rappaport kind of clarified it a little bit earlier. He might have, we don't know if this is real or not, but we're just kind of assuming, he might have agreed to a trip with his family in the middle of training camp whenever he was retired, and it was kind of a part of the whole thing when he came back. You don't have to tell us what you're hearing in that front, but did the players know this was happening, do you think, in your eyes? Did other coaches know this was happening? It kind of came out of nowhere, and what do you think Blaine Gabbert's going to do with this now that he's kind of the guy for at least the next week and a half?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody knew about it. I mean, I'm sure anything that happened was between Todd and Tom, and he's obviously reserved that right, being the greatest to ever do it and being the ultimate professional, and knowing that, you know, here in 2-3 weeks or whatever, when he decides to come back, like, he's going to, trust me, he's going to be running, he's going to be working out, he's going to be watching film, he'll be ready to roll, and he knows that system inside and out, obviously. As for Blaine's the ultimate professional. He's got so much respect around the league, and definitely in that locker room. Those guys love him. They're going to play for him. They're going to play hard for him, and he'll be able to kind of captain that ship and run that ship until Tom comes back.
What do you think it's going to be like when he's gone? Like, with the receivers, Julio Jones comes to the team this year, different things like that. Like, do you think it'll take more time for him to build rapport with them, having these 10 days off, whatever he's doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably will, but I think ultimately, like, I'm telling you, he's so good at when he comes back at getting that extra work. And you saw it, I mentioned it, whenever Antonio came to the team, what he was doing with him in between periods. So I'm sure he'll be doing a lot of the same stuff. He'll have to get back up to speed with, Mike when he comes back off his little minor injury, and then with Julio and Russell and all the other guys. But trust me, when he comes back, he'll be full steam ahead and grabbing those guys in between periods and working on timing, working on different things that he wants to work on, getting ready for week 1.
So this is not that big of a deal, although it is very abnormal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's different. But again, like, if there's one guy that you want to be dealing with this with on any team, on any roster, it's that guy on that team with that roster.
Yeah, be who you can afford to be. Blaine Gabbert will be able to fill in. I don't think they'll have to, just restart periods every single day, because Blaine Gabbert has no idea what he's doing. So hopefully they'll be able to get effective work. And when Tom comes back, we'll all be happy. Of course. Happy to hear it doesn't sound like anything like devastating happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's being planned out. Who knows? I guess we'll kind of try to figure out more as we go. Bob Hainsey, the center out of Notre Dame. He is now the starter for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers due to Ryan Jensen's unfortunate injury early. We hope Jensen recovers well. We're big fans of Jensen, as is everybody around the league. Bob Hainsey carted off the field yesterday. Bob Hainsey also trained with you all off season. Is he okay? Is he ready? And how is he doing?
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, I got the text yesterday. I started getting all these text messages when he got carted off, like, oh man, what's going on? And then as soon as he got off the practice field, he sent me a text. He was like, hey, just want to let you know, I'm sure you've heard some things. I'm good. I cramped. I'll be back.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, it's hot down there. It's hot down there. It's
hot.
Yeah.
And they moved practice back yesterday. Typically it's an 8:45 start. With the joint practice with the Dolphins, they moved it to 10:30 start.
Oh,
so
the sun.
A little later in the day, the humidity, the heat got to everybody.
Jeez Louise.
Sounds like poor conditioning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Training coming into the season.
Eat a banana.
Train harder.
Is it a full body cramp?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. I told him if he ever gets carted off for a cramp again, no longer able to train with me ever again.
Hell yeah. They probably forced him to do it. Let's just act like that is. And AQ, I led off the show talking about how the importance of preseason games has kind of gone this way for a lot of people's eyes. Not everybody, but a lot of people's eyes. And the joint practices have kind of gone like this. Back in the day, like one team, two teams, well, it would have to be two. Two teams would do joint practices. The rest of the league would not. It was kind of looked down as like a negative. Now it's almost like evaluators like it, because they can see preseason game-like atmosphere and evaluation and practice like 4 times as opposed to just one. Coaches like it because they can see a wider group of people. Players hate it because they have to go harder, I think, and there's more potential looking at their job. Did you guys do that last year? And what are your thoughts overall as joint practices for teams, both as a coach, which you were, and player in the offensive line, which probably hated joint practices, if I had to guess?
As a player, I absolutely despise joint practices. I was like, here we go. Going to have to ramp this thing up for 4 more days leading up to a preseason game. You just don't know what to expect, right? Like, you don't know who you're going to have to go against. Like, if you get a guy that's a super high motor guy, it's going to make your week of practice absolutely miserable. As a coach, I think you enjoy it. You get to see guys going against different guys. Things become monotonous. Things also become, you're able to kind of study your opponent if you're going against the same guy in training camp, and then you can kind of figure things out, and it's not as challenging maybe as it would be going against somebody else. So I think those things can definitely help, and I think they typically, when you do these joint practices now, it is starting to become a little better for players, because typically when you do it, then the starters aren't playing in the game. So you're kind of getting your action beforehand, and then you don't play in the game. So it ends up being a little better. I think than it used to be. It used to be fucking full tilt go and then go again in the games in the preseason. Probably back when AJ was playing and we were playing. But like now they've started to kind of figure this thing out a little bit and get the work in during the week and then sit them out for the game.
AQ, what was it like playing for Joe Paterno? Do you think he could have made the jump to the NFL if he wanted to?
I mean, I loved playing for Joe. I think he had plenty of offers to go. I think.
What?
It's a question. AQ played for him.
Yeah, Joe knew.
Sorry, AQ. As a football coach,
I knew they were going to go. I knew they were going to go there, but.
No, I'm talking about football. Joe
hey,
knew
we're talking
football.
about.
Joe knew football.
Joe knew football.
He couldn't even Nebraska,
buddy. Nebraska.
You know a lot of stuff, but Joe definitely knew football. So go on. I'm sorry.
He did. No, he was smart. He was super bright. He was, he was a lot of fun to play for. Because again, I've talked about this a bunch of times. He never wore a headset on the sideline. So like everything he saw from the field, he was able to just kind of diagnose without getting all this other information from everybody else. So loved playing for him. Thought he was super bright. Thought he could have probably made that jump. Had plenty of opportunities to do so. Just loved being up there and stayed there.
You love that quote, don't you? I mean, you love that. Are they going to win? Hey, are they ever going to win again? No. Penn State ever going to win?
I don't. This is the first time in a long time they're not ranked in the preseason.
Oh, no! Are you guys even a thing anymore? Is it even a thing? Are they even going to do the what is it? The whiteout.
Sure.
Is that even going to happen anymore? Are you guys even a football school anymore?
Yeah, I'm going to go back for the whiteout Minnesota game. I'm going back for it. First
Oh,
time
they're rowing the boat
God,
in the
you
happy
mug.
boat. Are you guys even a team anymore? Not ranked in the
We'll
top.
find out. We will find out.
Wow, is that tough? That's got to be tough because Penn State always super proud. Now it's just Ohio State's fucking conference. That's just how it goes nowadays.
Well, they did secure a nice TV deal. I did see that. They did secure a nice TV deal. That conference is getting paid.
Yeah.
Not with ESPN. I know. Sorry, you guys won't be able to call their games. I know you're disappointed.
Oh, so you don't want to be a part of it? Sounds like you guys.
okay.
Talk. A lot of
Cool.
you guys. You're the only person that knows anything about college football out of the whole fucking group, and you just said you guys.
Not
You don't want to be a
invited.
part of it?
Of course, I want to be a part of it.
Oh yeah, okay.
We'll
Sounds
pick a
like
Penn State kid. Oh wait.
we can't.
They'll never be on prime time. What are you talking about? They won't be on ESPN. We're only doing prime time games.
Clown.
That's even.
Hey, the Penn State Ohio State game is a noon kickoff. They're doing that noon thing. I don't like it. I'm so used to the night games.
Though you guys aren't in the top 25 anymore. Schedule makers are like, well, we got money to make here.
Sorry.
I mean, are they doing Sandstorm that game? No. No. Well, we don't want it. Here's a picture of AQ whenever he was a member of the cult.
Looking lean.
You are looking very lean. Tattoo looks hilarious there. 57, obviously. You were like the Nittany Lion when you were there, right? Love Penn State. Everything
what kind
about
of shoes is Joe wearing?
Asics.
Those are the Air Paternos right there.
Those would be great kicking shoes, by the way. They have little baseball cleats on the bottom of those, if I do recall.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember seeing those.
He's sprinting. He's giving
Sweet
everything.
white laces.
Is this when he shit his pants or?
Whoa.
Is this the poop game?
That's fucked up.
You could only wish to be at something so long
Yeah.
that your fucking butthole doesn't operate properly anymore while you're on the job. Okay, Nick? You could only... Ain't that right, AQ?
I mean, there's no chance I'm making it that long, so God bless them.
Well, we were
No
actually
chance.
talking a little bit ago. There is a full body what is that called?
Transplant.
That they're developing. So I might be playing for Penn State like
60 years
60,
from now.
30, 70 years from now. Put an 18-year-old body on me. You know, maybe I'm a coach.
Let's go.
Quarterback.
Mike McQuarrie isn't there anymore, so maybe I'll be able to be judged as Penn State material. You know what I mean, AQ?
I hear you, man.
Hey,
Maybe one of these days.
How good a news is that I did not go to Penn State, by the way? Neither of us would have made it to the NFL. I mean, there would have been no opportunity or chance in hell.
Kicked out for sure.
For sure.
Kicked out
yep.
for sure.
Pretty happy we didn't go down. And now Morgantown was Baghdad on numerous different occasions, but I do believe if you would have mixed me and AQ at a much earlier age, it would have been much worse. Ty Schmidt, Iowa Hawkeye, your question for AQ Shipley.
Yeah, AQ, we're seeing a lot of these teams in camp now where they'll shuffle guys around on the line trying to figure out who their five are going to be. And some of these got like the Packers, for instance, they got, two guys down. So they have certain guys playing a different position like every single day. How many guys in the NFL can actually excel at like multiple positions on the line? Like, do you see that very often or no?
So if you're a backup guy, that it has to be, it's a prereq. Like you cannot make the team unless you can play multiple positions. The guys that have that 4 position flexibility, those guys can play forever because they can literally just plug and play at both guards, both tackles, or whatever those 4 positions may be. So, because typically on game day, you're only dressing 7. So if you're one of those backup guys, the one guy's got to be able to play center or guard, the other guy's got to play guard or tackle. You might have one guy that can play all 5, or another guy that can play 4, or whatever it may be. But it's got to be a prereq. The guys that go into camp and they're not the starter and they're a right tackle only or a left tackle only, pretty tough to make the team.
You think you have to get that situated, like your 5 starters that you have, your core O linemen that you need? Do they need to be set from day one? Like how big of an advantage is it if you go into week 1 with your 5 and you keep those 5 throughout the season and you don't lose anybody?
And follow up, when do you know that the chemistry is not working with 5 guys? Because isn't that the most important part of the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's ideal to have it early. I mean, the earlier the better. It's ideal, right? And whenever, you get a guy that has to plug and play at a position, it is so different, especially if everybody plays differently, right? Everybody steps differently. So you're so used to working a backside combo double team with this guard that you've been doing it for 7, 8, 9 weeks, whatever. And in some of these cases, it's years, right? And then this guy goes down, he gets hurt, whatever it is, and now he's out and somebody gets plugged in, he does something completely different. It might take 5 weeks to kind of figure out how to work the backside combo with this guy as opposed to the guy you were working with for a long time. So, I guess to answer your question, ideally you would want it earlier, and it's all luck, right? I mean, at the end of the day, there's very few teams that make it through a season with all 5 guys playing together from day 1 till the end. It's very few and far between. So that's where depth comes in. Like the teams that have the best depth on the offensive line usually are able to kind of carry through.
Boston Connor is going through an absolute hell time right now. Now, not that he believes any of it, but the narrative out of camp is that the Patriots are dead. The offense stinks. The defense isn't what it used to be. They're completely fucked. Now, a lot of the arrows all end up at the offensive line, though. The offensive line can't protect Mac Jones, which means the offense can't do anything. Is it alarming when you're learning a new scheme? Like, is it that difficult to learn a brand new scheme? I guess they're trying to do the Shanahan offense, and they're bringing that in. Josh McDaniels is out of there. Is it that difficult to pick up a brand new scheme? And is it potentially just fit with each other? And how do you fix that? How do you think you right that problem as efficiently as possible?
Well, let's start by saying we haven't even gotten to the first preseason game yet. So
this means nothing.
To sit here and have full panic fucking mode at this point is absurd. First of all,
well, it's everywhere.
Everybody.
I know, and
it's loud.
That's just because there's no news. So we have to have something to talk about, right? So we go crazy, and so
Coach.
Let's just all settle down a little bit, see where this goes, but I will say when it comes to schemes, having a new scheme is completely different, and if we are making the switch to a Shanahan scheme, listen, I don't think people realize how much work goes into those zone schemes because it's a different thing. It takes so much work in practice. The teams that do it are full tilt running that zone scheme over and over and over, individual.
Remember the Titans. We got 4 plays.
It's so much work.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
And everything rolls off of that. So your footwork has to be right. The back's footwork has to be right. I mean, there's so much detail that goes into it. And so teams that try and just copy, they see what San Fran did last year with all that inside-out stuff with use check going in motion, kicking this guy out. And, they're going for 30. Then they try and implement it, and it goes for -2. And they're like, what the fuck? Well, it's because you didn't run it 480,000 times from the start of training camp till week 4.
So that is very much a timing and chemistry thing that if you hear these people panicking, there's a good chance in about 5, 6, 7 weeks that they're going to have to walk back these words, or they'll just act like they didn't say it at all. You have faith that they'll be able to figure it out up there?
Well, I think ultimately training camp, defenses are always further ahead for whatever reason.
See ball, get ball.
From the beginning of time, it's just they're always further ahead until you get into your first preseason game or even your first game. Then it's like, oh shit, maybe we're not as bad as we fucking thought we were. We got our asses kicked by the defense all training camp, but we just put up 35 in week 1. So it's just you don't know what it's going to be, and I think you never want to question what Bill does up there, right? I mean, they may be behind for now, but they'll be ready come week 1.
Hey, especially publicly. Like people have People publicly just come out and question Bill Belichick all the time. And I'm like, yo, motherfuckers are wild. Like, I can't. That is a very good, because I believe in humans. You know, I don't believe in necessarily everything else. I believe that Bill Belichick, if he doesn't think Matt Patricia and Joe Judge are figuring it out, he'll fucking go do it himself or find somebody else that'll do it. Like, I believe Bill Belichick won't let his team look like shit. Like, when it matters, I believe that. But there's a lot of people that are currently having a full parade that Bill Belichick is old, out of it, and their offense looks terrible. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Coach, how much do you love when everyone reacts to a video of one-on-one O-line, D-line drills like Jordan Davis pushing the center back and he's anchoring like 5-6 times? How much do you love that?
It's the funniest. It's literally the most unrealistic drill that has ever been created.
Here we go. Here we go. I love this. This is awesome. And as soon as I saw it, I said, there's going to be so many offensive linemen that are pissed about this.
There's zero offense. If there is a handful of guys that like it, they're different breeds, but I would say 98% of people, the minute that the 7-on-7 period shows up in training camp and the O-line, D-line got to jog over, every O-lineman's like, fuck, just don't look like a fucking asshole. Don't look like an asshole. Just do exactly what that kid did on film. If you can just sit there and stay in front of him and fight, you're okay. But just don't get embarrassed at the line of scrimmage. And
what's that drill? He did that drill exactly, the strain drill. Hey, what is that drill you guys do? That he was literally doing that drill. It felt like in the live rep, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's called bull hawk press. So it's exactly what it sounds like. You're getting a bull rush. You're locked on, you're hopping, and then you're pressing to extend. It's literally that. And if you can do that and just stay squared up, 9 times out of 10, ball's going to be out. Like, everybody wants to sit there and say that, yeah, like, okay, of course. If that guy had no threat of playing the run, he just put his fucking head down and ran down his chest. Like, he held on, ball's gone. Hey, great rep, bud, but the ball's gone. Ball's gone.
Yeah, this is offensive lineman's reaction, by the way, to every single thing. And I think that was my reaction to the clip going viral is like, well, we ask any offensive lineman that's been in the league or any high level, they're going to say that this is a bunch of bullshit and the offensive line won, is what they're going to say. Jordan Davis came out and said to defend Cam, I believe is that kid's name. He said, yeah, but you guys aren't seeing all the clips where he's beating me. So he was actually like, this is what Jordan Davis actually said about the clip, kind of to echo your sentiment. And I got massive respect for him saying this because he's a young guy with a lot of clout and he just got very over on the internet. And this is what he chose to say about his teammate. I love this guy, I think.
I hate it, honestly. I just feel like it's very one-sided. You see one rep, but you don't see Cam just, blocking me and, getting me at practice and, getting me in the other reps. So, I always say, looks can be deceiving. So, one rep awesome. And it goes viral, whatever, whoop-de-whoop. But, Cam is holding his own. He's a very good player, and it's just good competition. It's iron on iron. So, you see the background of everything, but don't let the hype get to you.
I love that. I love that guy.
Great answer.
And by the way, AQ, you're fucking lucky you retired, dude. That dude's 6'6", 380, ran a 4.5. You know that?
Listen, about 5 years ago, I kept telling my wife, I'm like, listen, I gotta get the fuck out of this league. these guys keep getting bigger, stronger, and faster. I don't know how I keep hanging on here, but I gotta get the fuck out of this league. So I'm kind of happy I got out when I did because it's just, they just, especially on the D-line, those guys just keep getting freakier and freakier. It is wild. And the amount of talent that those guys just keep bringing in. And
I like the mindset there, AJ, in the middle of that. You said, I love this. I fucking do too. That guy's national champion. That guy's...
I'd have drafted that dude number 1 overall if I'd had a conversation with him probably. I don't know. I just love that. A dude that's that dominant and he instantly talks. He's 21 years old probably, right? And he's smart enough and has intelligence and awareness to do it. So, yeah, I think his teammates probably love him too.
Because he could have talked around that. You know, he could have not taken credit, but also let the video continue to go. Yeah. And instead, he's like, nah, listen, this ain't real life, what's happening. I appreciate it. I think we chatted about if you can draft a guy that there's not going to be an equivalent to, like, why wouldn't you draft that guy? What did they say? He wasn't in shape during the season or something like that.
Yeah, not an every down player.
Yeah, he's not every down. He's not every down. He's 6 foot fucking 6, 380, running a 4.6. Yeah. He's not in every down. What the fuck are we even talking about?
Because of his shape, I think.
Hey, Q, he would have fucking bull rushed you so hard. You would have been just.
Ball be out though.
You'd be Michelin Man and rolling right back.
Hey, Balls out in 1.8. Just bull hop press, baby.
Hey, we appreciate you joining us, brother. Have an incredible day. Tell the family we said hello.
Always a pleasure, guys. See you guys.
If you talk to Blaine, tell him we said congrats on being starting
Yeah.
quarterback.
Yeah. Again, Blaine. Congrats,
Tampa Bay
Blaine.
Buccaneers. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley. Hey, bull hop press. Hey, bull hop press, AJ.
Run it back.
Pretty good rep though. You didn't get. I mean, everyone else on the planet would have been crumbled and rolled over.
Well, it was also wet, it appeared. His
Yeah.
cleats were just being
Slide.
ice skating back. I mean, that was rather impressive. All right, let's get to a break, and then we'll wrap up this show with some phone calls. You have to like what you heard out of AQ there about the offensive line.
I do, and it just reiterates the fact, like, hey, we haven't even played a goddamn preseason game yet. Like, let's slow down.
Everybody having to be in exact unison on that, like down to
Yeah.
like those offensive linemen are they're 320 pounds, 315 pounds, 330, whatever they are. Massive dudes. They have these knee braces on, obviously, the whole thing. They have to have their feet this far away from each other as if they're in like a potato sack race, too. Like it has to be in exact timing and exact unison while trying to do it all. It could take some time to figure it out.
Yeah, and 3 of the 5 guys have been doing the same thing for the last 8 or 5 years, and then 2 of them, Cole Strange and Michael Owenu, have been doing it for.
Cole Strange, a starter?
Oh yeah, he's starting left guard. We traded Shaq Mason.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, Doc.
Here we go.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls on the 5 energy phone. I didn't know he was starting.
He's a first round pick. I mean, put the guy in the goddamn game. He's just Logan Mankins. It's the same exact reaction. There's actually been a lot of
How
slips.
come there was so many clips about?
Mankins was the man.
Yes, a dog, right? Mankins
Yes.
was a dog.
Dog.
Absolute,
Scary individual, a tone setter.
absolute dog. Is Strange the same thing?
I hope so. Again, how are you supposed to know before you even play a training camp, a preseason game?
There's a lot of clips trying to build a narrative that Cole Strange had no idea what he was doing on the internet.
Those are very similar to that Jordan Davis clip we just talked about.
Oh, Bill Belichick, though, drafted him. So we will once again go down on a ship that is Bill Belichick will figure it out. We're back in 4 with some phone calls to wrap up this Thursday, August 11th, before 2 preseason games this evening. This is the Pat McAfee Show. See you then. What happened?
What's up?
So what did he?
What?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Are you
What?
serious? What is this?
What just? Oh, hey, you got one of these?
Holy shit!
Wow.
What the?
What is that? I ain't one of these.
What? This is
I ain't one of these.
This is Baby Belt 2.0. This is better than yours.
Whoa. No, that ain't. Look. Hey, look at mine, AJ. Huh? That is this one. You got that little baby version. Look at that. You got a little baby Jesus title.
No. Oh, no. This has been my bracelet I've been wearing around the house lately.
Yeah, see, this ain't fitting around anybody.
No way.
Don't you worry about that. This is a thigh wrap. You know what are you doing?
Look, see, it's perfect. Right behind my bracelet.
That's good.
Steven in Nashville enough. What's going on, Steven?
Hey, hello? Pat? You guys can hear me?
This is the worst call we've ever had, Steven.
My God. So mean.
Steven.
Hello?
Steven,
Yeah.
it's the worst call we've ever had. So much dead air there.
Yo, Pat, can you hear me?
Yeah, keep it going.
Hello?
Know what you say?
I was going to hit him again.
What?
Yo, Pat?
No,
Pat? Pat? Hey, Pat, can you hear me?
Steven does not deserve this. Steven, what's going on, dude? What's going on, Steven?
Sorry, your phone would chop.
Yo, Pat McAfee, can you hear me?
Steven, you there?
Pat, can you hear me? Hello?
Is it a cup and a string?
Steven!
Yo, Pat! Pat, can you hear me? Hello?
Steve!
Pat!
Hey, there you are. Hey, what's going on, Steve? Hey, Steven, sorry about that. I think we're having connection issues. What's going on, man?
Hey, sorry, man. I didn't know if that was me or if you were trying to talk to another guy. And then I didn't hear you guys.
Steve!
Yeah. Hello?
Oh, we lost him again, I think. Shit.
Pat!
Can you?
No.
Pat, can you hear me?
Steve, hey, Steve, there you are, Steve.
Pat!
Steve.
Pat!
Hey.
Pat!
Steve.
Oh, can you hear me?
Steve.
Are you guys messing around? Can you guys hear me?
I went to one of his shows. He forced me into doing. He's wearing football pants.
I think Marco
had actual knee pads.
Does he have a fake face on?
Yeah, he has a fake face on. That is not Chris Angel. That or he's been eating McDonald's with Mark Davis for the last 5 years.
I just want to let
And it
everybody
only went
know.
straight to his face.
I just want to let everybody know this is NFL related. Okay,
Yeah.
we have to talk about
cover
this.
it. Have to cover it. Why is his penis a different color?
He's wearing football pants.
Tony, that's a.
Five-Hour Energy gives you the alert, energized feeling you need to get in the zone and stay in the zone all the way through the 28-day countdown to NFL football.
Hell yeah.
Go to 5-Hour Energy's website to find over 15 flavors to choose from, with flavors like watermelon, tropical burst, blue raspberry, peach mango, and more. There's a flavor for everyone. You can use the promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order at 5hourenergy.com. Promo code McAfee.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We appreciate that, obviously, a lot.
What's going on back there?
Sage. Let's go to the phones.
Guys are always cackling back and forth. No one knows what's happening.
I wonder if I'm.
There's no one. We know.
Yeah, we know.
Is there anything,
You know.
Is there anything that's supposed to be for us?
Yeah.
What about us?
Yeah.
I think this whole show is for us.
Well, valid. Very valid.
Yeah, he's the one telling, how'd you think you, making you, do the whole song and dance at the top of the intro.
Oh, yeah. Are you the
What's
director?
that,
Is this the
bitch?
executive producer?
Yeah.
You always do. You never get it.
Yeah, what are you,
AJ.
Francis Coppola, dude? Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of it. Let's go to Kevin in Compton. All right, getting a call from Compton. That's
Hell yeah.
awesome on the 5 Energy phone line. Kevin in Compton, what's going on?
Big shout out. How we doing? Keep it moving, boys.
All right, respect. How you doing?
I'm good, and you? I'm good. So shout out to Connor. I just want you to know that the Patriots fucking suck. Shout out
Knew it.
Jets,
Knew it right away.
Jets Nation. I'm from Compton. I get killed. I get killed for this. But you know what? Hit the over. Bet the over 5.5. I will be out there for week 1. Just know that I'm gonna go crazy on FanDuel. FanDuel, please do something. Give us gambling out here in fucking California.
Kevin, great
Newsom.
call. Love these Jets fan in Compton, especially with the arrival of the Rams and immediately having success. I believe there's probably a lot of old school Raiders fans that are there, old school Rams fans that are around that town. Caller saying he's betting the over for the Jets. I seen a sick sidearm dart in slow motion from Zach Wilson yesterday. Reminded me of his pro day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Some no-look stuff, right?
Yeah, a little no look, dart stuff. Also with his offseason, with that slinging of his pill he's been doing.
I trust Brady Quinn with my life, though. And he said 0-9, so I'm rolling with him.
Did you really?
Brady Quinn buried the Jets, and then it got picked up in Jets conversation.
Oh, yeah, because they do have a tough schedule.
Yeah, very tough schedule, but also, like, Brady Quinn got a lot of terrible things said about him from a lot of Jets fans after he said that. So I appreciate the fact that Brady Quinn went out there and did that. Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers, Dolphins, Packers, Broncos, Patriots, Bills, bye. How you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a tough start for Salah and for Zach Wilson. Joey Flacco's balling. I've heard there's some studs at camp. Obviously, they had 2 first-rounders. That is a difficult beginning to a season as you're trying to figure some shit out.
Yeah, and Dwayne Brown's actually a massive pickup because Mekhi Becton, although he's supposed to be really good, he's gotten hurt every year. So now that that's kind of off the table and they have a solidified tackle, that'll help them out.
They can win 4 or 5 though at the end there. They got a nice little easy schedule at the end. That'll be nice.
Yeah, then after the bye week, after they reset everything, they got Patriots fresh out the jump, which, by the way, who knows?
Yeah.
And then you got the Bears.
Tough game.
The Bears
Tough,
stink,
definitely.
obviously.
Bears stink, yeah.
Then they got the Vikings, and then Bills, Lions, Jags, Seattle Seahawks, and Dolphins. All right, so there'll be a positive momentum at the end, and all Jets fans will say, great, we're winning out of a good draft choice. So they have bundle abilities, though, with multiple picks next year. I'm excited to see what the Jets do. Let's talk about the Vikings, though, because I was just reminded of it. Kirk Cousins did an interview with a local Paisano reporter at the Minnesota Vikings training camp. New haircut for Kirk, it appeared.
Yeah.
Bigger biceps on Kirk Cousins as well. Listen to the question, the way it was asked, incredibly, and Kirk Cousins' answers, and let's see what we learned about Kirk Cousins and Mike Zimmer's relationship from this conversation.
I don't know if you've been asked this directly or not. If I have, forgive me. If you have, forgive me,
Sweet
and
hair.
I might have missed it.
Sweet hair.
But Ben
Look at his
Lieber, who you
fucking
know I
arms.
think pretty well, he's a big member of the Fan Radio Network. He made some news when he was attempting to analyze what he thought was
Kirk
a
already
problem.
takes the question.
I give you the direct quote.
Just wait.
I think Kirk's going to finally thrive, really thrive, in a system and a coach that actually respects him. I mean, it's not like I'm not breaking news here that Mike Zimmer did not like Kirk Cousins, and I think that showed in the way that Kirk behaved and the way that he carried himself. The team was never given to him.
2 pages there.
Or he was never allowed to learn the trust of the team because the head coach, I think, just didn't like him. Is Ben right?
Let me say this. I was fortunate enough to go to 2 Pro Bowls under Coach Zimmer. We won a playoff game, a very difficult playoff game, and nobody gave us a chance to win. I've gotten better every year I've been here, and I look back on my years with Coach Zimmer and I say he was very good to me. I wish we had won more games, and the head coach and the quarterback tend to take the brunt of that, and they always will, always have and always will. But I think that it's been a little bit misreported. I think he was an asset to my career, very much so, and I think that's been lost somehow in the offseason.
He did not answer. I mean,
no.
Let's go out to Mike Zimmer now.
Hey, let's go to Mike Zimmer, who's currently retired with a new girlfriend. Mike Zimmer, your thoughts? Kirk was the quarterback for a team I head coached for a long time. We won games. We had fun. And I think it's all kind of being misconstrued. Okay, so you're both not answering the question, but we can assume that there was maybe not the best of friendship, best of relationship between the two. Zimmer, defensive, old school minded guy. Kirk Cousins on the offensive side. Doesn't sound like he buried him. That's because Kirk Cousins is a professional, and you'd assume he wouldn't if he wanted to build up the team that he currently has. I guess we'll have to keep an eye on that. The Vikings might fucking do some shit, though.
Yeah.
New Kirk Cousins. Looks like a revenge body, Kirk Cousins, AJ Hawk.
Revenge haircut as well.
His...
Looking yoked.
He also, remember, sent a message to the head coach and GM. This is what we fucking need to do to win around here.
Right here.
What we need to do is send it to Chris Mad Dog Russo. It'll be much better than us. That happens now. Thank you. I felt good about it. I felt really good about it.
You hear Kirk's first words?
Which ones?
It's like when someone asks, if someone's like a diehard conspiracy person and someone would be like, what about this? And they'll ask him like a direct question. Kurt said, let me say this about Coach Zimmer. Let me say that when you start with like, well, let me say this or something like that. I feel like it's okay. Here we go. Like I'm very classy move to how he went about it, but you don't start it like you don't initially say, well, Coach Zimmer was great. Like I had a great time with Coach Zimmer. Like you just start with that weird qualifier.
Well, I think the qualifier is for him to remember exactly how he wanted to give this answer when it was finally given to him or asked to him, you know. He had obviously thought about this. He has known this was coming. As soon as that quote that the host there, that came from the Minnesota Vikings YouTube.
Yeah.
Like the actual team.
They put it out.
The team's YouTube, yeah. Great question, by the way. I appreciate and respect the way that question was laid out. Direct quote, 2 pages. 2 pages, the entire quote. Was he right? That's a great fucking, just kind of to put it in there. And the way Kirk handled it very professionally, I think they're all probably pretty happy to be moving on, though, including Zimmer. I mean, I bet you Kirk Cousins is excited and Zimmer is excited about the new life they're living. But the more I think about the Vikings, the more I'm like, I like the Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I like that Vikings team this year. Don't you? I mean, how could you not?
They whatever the change of scenery, whatever the offense is going to look like with the new young play caller head coach coming in there, like they feel like they have like a new, like there's some new juice there, some new vibe.
GM doesn't think so, but I mean,
That's tough.
everybody, that's tough. What a way to describe that. Go ahead, Connor.
It is awesome, like the Vikings team. Like Justin Jefferson is so fun to watch. Dalvin Cook's unbelievable. And
Thielen's a dog.
Thielen's a dog.
Hey, we might have a Thielen here in Indy, by the way. Go ahead.
That's right.
What do you mean?
Alec Pierce, we got a guy, I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, one of the guys, just one of the linemen who they drafted, who's a rookie, is getting like unbelievable comparisons and reviews. Like Rap Sheet talked about it once on his social that this guy Christian Darashaw or something, he plays tackle left or right. He's getting like Trent Williams comparisons right now. So they think they got a guy up front.
Let's go. Let's do this thing. Yeah, I like the Vikings. They still got Cook running the ball?
Yeah, still got Cook. Changed his number. New
yeah,
Cook.
8, right?
4.
9, 4?
4.
He was going to do it a year beforehand, but they told him, yeah, you're going to have to pay us $1.3 million to do that so we can get all your jerseys off the shelves. But if you'd like to wait a year, we can try to sell all these and then you can do it. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to opt to keep $1 million and change my number next year. He looks awesome. Those single digits, AJ, look so cool, dude.
I love single digits. I mean, it is kind of weird when you see a guy for so many years in a normal number, and then all of a sudden he switches to single digit. It does look great, but it takes a minute to figure out who he is.
I don't think every position looks great, and I'm not going to be the one that hates on or rains on anybody's swag. I think there's some positions, though, it looks much stronger with
like what? Do you like when D linemen wear a single digit?
That's exactly what I'm referring to, yeah. Like somebody gets a big-time sack, like outside linebacker, rusher, I get it, but like it feels more powerful to me, like a 90, like after, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. But that might not be what they're going for anyways. They might be going for the swag, clean look out here. I'm an athlete. I get it. I understand. I appreciate it. But I think there's some situations that call for some numbers. In I might be old guy in the front yard type thing, but some sack dances I see, I'm like, you kind of.
Should be in the 90s.
And number 7 doesn't look.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean? Like I think there's some.
I mean, he better be a monster. If he's a D lineman wearing single digit, he has to take over the game too.
And that means what? At one point he was probably a running back, wide receiver. Then he just grew, got big, got into the absolute freak show of an athlete. If that's the case.
The opposite of that too. It's been weird seeing Julio Jones in '85 because he was 11 and then 2.
Yeah.
Now out of nowhere he's in
looks
the 80s.
bigger, doesn't he?
Is that right? He was born 1985. Is this a Crosby move?
I don't know.
Is that it?
I don't know.
That would make sense.
Julio's not 1 year younger
he's
than
not
me.
that
I was
old,
born
yeah.
'84.
Is he younger than me? He's younger than me?
I think so. I mean,
gotta be.
85. Yeah, I don't
37. He's not 37.
No way. He's like 32, right? 33.
He was born in 89.
89.
What was the 85 for? Do we know what the history behind the 85 was?
Probably the open number.
Antonio Gates.
Yeah. Chad Ochocinco.
Oh, this is why?
He's a big fan of Antonio Gates. Yeah.
Great player.
Great player.
He was.
Should have seen him play basketball. He's golden flash. He's fucking in boards, dude.
Well, he wanted 81 because of Phil Kessel, but that was also taken already.
Julio Jones did?
Yeah. So, he also loves popping hot dogs. So, unfortunately.
Julio Jones does?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I saw him one time in real life, and I just feel like he just eats muscles.
He is too big and too fast.
He's fucking just he has a chip on his shoulder again. Now, not that he didn't last year, whatever. I don't know what the fuck happened last year. I don't know why it didn't work. But these clips coming out of training camp, he just mossed a motherfucker yesterday in Miami. Miami has good DBs too, right? Like,
yeah.
They got some good. I think that was on Javon Holland too, because he's number 8. He's one of their best safeties.
And you see Tom, just him and Julio in exact rhythm again. And it's just like, of course. Yeah. Of course. This guy was just out there ready to go to any team. Team. Maybe even as one with his old quarterback.
Yeah.
If you're a Tampa fan, though, you have to be worried with Tom not being there. Like, these guys might not be on the same page the first fucking 16, 17 weeks of the season.
You think Julio's going to check out like he did last year with Tannehill?
He might.
Probably.
Oh, no.
Or he develops a very strong rapport
Blaine.
with Gabbert, and he's like, hey, I'm not playing for Tom. Okay, Blaine's my quarterback.
Tom with you.
Hey, I've heard Blaine Gabbert is a absolute beauty. I've heard from everybody that's ever met him, been like, dog.
Yeah. I've only heard good things.
Blaine's a beauty. Yeah, you would love it. I got one FaceTime from somebody within the crew one time, and it did appear as if we would love Blaine Gabbert in that particular FaceTime. Let's do some more phone calls and then get the hell out of here and go watch these games tonight, huh?
Here we go.
Pumped.
Let's go watch these games tonight.
Let's watch these Patriots.
Huh?
Let's watch these Patriots.
Come on.
See what Hoyer's got.
Is the starting O-line playing? They are, right? They have to.
I honestly have no idea who's playing. 'Cause I don't
You
know if
only
they want to
have-
even-
Sounds like they need as many reps as possible. Yeah. So if we could both get practices and games, let's go ahead and get them in all of these things.
I assume they have like 6 plays because they're not going to want to show much.
And they also might
Do
not
they have
know
much?
Yeah, exactly.
Got the phones? Let's go. Gino, Queens, New York, from Compton and Queens, New York. Gino, what's going on? 5 Energy phone line.
Hey, what's up, Pat? AJ, the boys, how you doing?
Keep moving, Gino. Paisan. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, so I just want to let you know I'm loving this Mets content that's coming out of this program.
Okay.
And I wanted to talk about.
We know you'll lose interest.
Ed Win Diaz.
Thank you. Let's talk about Ed Win Diaz. My guy.
Yeah, so there seems to be a direct correlation between his great performance and his electrifying walkout. This guy, when he was in Seattle, he had Narco going. As soon as he came to the Mets, he changed the walkout song, and he stunk. Then, 2020, he changed it back to Narco. The trumpet's blaring. He's been, going lights out since. So I just wanted to, point out that I know you guys are talking about how, this guy stunk for a little bit. Yeah, it's because he didn't have his great walkout song.
Thank you, Gino. Ty, fuck off.
You don't know
How about
shit.
that? You Ed Lose Diaz. I don't
never
need to hear.
said that,
Yeah,
bro.
you did. It's Ed Lose Diaz because they refused to let him play his music. New owner comes in and goes, listen, we'll pay whatever fucking rights we need to get the trumpets. Okay? If that's what's going to make you go 32-0 or whatever at this point on the season, let's do it. I think there is something to it, though. So this is like when you speak something into existence, you put pressure on yourself to accomplish it. If you're coming out to that big of a song and dance, like that is a lot of pressure to perform. There is a chance that something like that happening has made him a better, maybe more focused, and also more like, ready to fucking go in that whole thing. I think there's a chance that some sociologist or psychologist would tell us that whenever you amplify a situation, you are much more likely to be in tune to the situation. But I'm not a fucking doctor. My brain is smaller than most.
Also, I imagine it's much like the games he's closing now, like they matter. Like when the Mets weren't good, it's like, yeah, you still want to do well, obviously, but like, they're a good team. Like it actually matters. They need him to close these games out.
They're really good, right?
Yes, really good. We're winning the World Series. Fucking, we got
probably
a
not.
pennant.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. Goddamn right.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Anyways, fucking, he can't do that whole thing and get bombed on.
No.
Bingo.
Like, actually can't happen. Actually can't happen.
You would stop doing it. They would stop playing it if he was getting blasted.
I remember pitching that I wanted, I forget what song I wanted to come on before I punted. And in the games, I was pitching this. It was
Is that a thing?
No, but I was pitching.
No one's usually celebrating the punt.
Yeah, you're normally getting booed on. So I wanted to kind of cover up the boos in our stadium, maybe with a song. And I think I even said like a batter would come out for music or whatever. And I was asked, well, what happens when you just hit a shank immediately? Like, what is there? I'm like, well, I won't. Like, if you give me this fucking, heater, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, I don't know if we need to be the first team to do this or whatever. I'm like, all right, whatever the case is. All right, so whatever the case is. So, it would just be an announcement, kind of a parade of boos at home. And then on the road, though, I was getting fucking standing ovations coming on. It was awesome. Backed up punt in Houston. You would have thought I was the goddamn J.J. Watt. And I was coming out there, place going bananas. Hey, fuck you. Fuck you too, man.
Come on.
All right, here we go. That would be sick. They asked Evan McPherson if he would do it. He said it was an Eminem song that he would play if it was to come on before he was to come out and kick a field goal.
Really?
But that is like the bigger you make the moment, if you don't succeed, you look like an absolute jackass. So I think there is something to that. It's almost like speaking something into existence, AJ?
Like it holds them accountable. It's like when somebody says, hey, I'm going to lose 30 pounds within the next 3 months, and they say it online. They post it on there for everyone to see. Like they feel like, okay, I don't want to let people down.
And by the way, I think the internet has amplified this to your point. You say you're going to do something, the internet will be like, bet. All right. Like that.
That's like Zito's probably feeling that right now.
Oh, yeah. Because we're talking about him getting into a full, hey, let's go, Z.
Maybe
Let's go. Me too. I speak publicly about, where I'm at in hopes that I will stay motivated and being a healthy person. I've not found the successful manner yet, but I think Zito has. Zito's all in.
Yeah.
Hey, already seeing a difference. And feeling a difference, by the way.
Really?
With energy and everything. Yes.
I saw his whole program he has set up. Like Zito's got a great thing going. It looks like.
Fuck yeah, and we're happy for his health, Zito. Not an easy decision to make, not an easy thing to do. You're crushing it. I'm trying to do the same thing right now. But yeah, I think publicly putting something on public just puts more pressure on people to do stuff. Good call there by Gino.
Good boy, Gino.
Good call.
Hey, Gino.
Come out to some basic bum ass, no rights needed song. He was just jogging out there. Everybody didn't even know. Go get some popcorn, hot dogs. And if you get bombed on, nobody cares. if you bring in Timmy Trumpet, which the Mets are doing, by the way, probably put him on top of Citi Field, if I had to guess, with a spotlight the next time he comes in and he's hitting it.
I said potentially he's going to walk out of the bullpen with
him. Okay,
Which-
that's what I'm talking. If you do all that,
That's going to be
He'd
awesome.
jump in the shark there because if he blows that save, like he's dead. He can never do this again.
but that's what we're talking about. Like he won't because he knows.
Imagine how cool it would be if Timmy Trumpet does walk out with him in first pitch. Just
Yeah,
fucking
that would be
400 feet.
awesome. That
No,
would
it
be
would
awesome.
not.
That would be so hilarious.
We should want this to happen more.
Who do they
So,
play when he's doing this?
Listen, we don't know because we don't know if
Probably
he's coming
the
out.
Nationals or
Well,
something.
that's what it'd be smart if they're going to do this. To be like, okay, let's make sure we're playing like the fucking Marlins or the Nationals or something like that,
Buccos.
or the Buccos. Yeah,
a team that has cell phones in their back pocket.
We're up 12-0 when he comes in.
Well, then it's not a closer, right?
That one count as a save? Yeah, I guess.
You don't know baseball, dude. Stop talking about baseball. You're embarrassing yourself.
Cool. What if they're up 1-0 and he comes in?
There you go.
That would
That's
be a save.
Yeah, it is.
And that
What
would be
what makes it a
perfect.
save then?
By the way,
Three or-
1-0. That's 3 or less. 1-0 would be the perfect time because there's been absolutely zero electricity in this game. Nothing.
Yeah.
Then fucking Timmy Trumpet hits that fucking wall with them. The lights are going, spotlight, and then he just goes 1, 2, 3. Oh,
That would be
amazing.
sweet. Yeah, that would be sweet.
That would happen again and again. It would start happening more probably. But if there's a walk and then there's a bomb and that thing's over, I don't know if that's going to take place ever again.
We'll see. I hope
I'm
it doesn't
rooting for
happen.
entertainment in baseball, unlike you fucks that do not want.
That
it.
would be
Sounds-
entertaining.
No, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that would
one
be like
moment, way
top
to go.
tier entertainment.
It would never happen again for the next 20 years. We never get this opportunity again if this.
Well,
was
then you can always go back and watch, the video that you've been watching and just know, hey, we always had this.
I have been watching that video every morning. I drive in with that fucking song going.
It's awesome.
I feel
I
like
mean, Mariano Rivera gave up. He didn't win every time. Like
That's
He
right.
blew a few saves.
Yeah.
He's the greatest closer of all time. Okay, let's
He
stop.
is.
Let's not be fucking comparing Edwin Diaz to.
I'm saying the
Mariano
music,
Rivera.
though.
What?
Entertainment.
Yeah, Enter
Guys, I
Sandman.
win the
He
song
fucking
young.
earned that.
He's gonna watch this putting people to sleep. Is that why?
Yeah, because guess what? When Enter Sandman was playing, the game is over. Okay.
Take my hand. We're off the Edwin Diaz train. That's where everybody went. Everybody went right from Mariano Rivera right to Edwin Diaz, and you can't take it.
No,
That's your problem.
Again, this is what I said. He's done it for this year, and that's great. If he does it like for the next 16 years in a row, then maybe we can entertain this conversation.
He's going to, too. Because is Timmy Trumpet going to unlearn how to fucking play the trumpet?
I don't think so.
Nope. And Gino did some research for us. Anytime that fucking song's playing and he's walking through that outfield, game, set, match, dude.
It has been this year.
No, and 6 years ago.
Yeah, in Seattle.
You know anything about that? Fauci threw fucking gas.
He was getting booed like crazy.
Hey, he got booed in Seattle. I did not expect Fauci to get booed
I saw
in
the
Seattle.
thumbnail. I didn't watch the clip. Did he throw some heat or what?
Yeah, I threw absolute
Dart. But was it better than his last one?
Yeah,
yes,
it
yes.
was.
I think that's why people were saying it was good, right? Last time he threw it into a dugout. But, like, the boos in Seattle, I don't think anybody expected. Seattle,
No.
right?
Everyone
no way.
hates him. Everyone hates him.
I mean,
I don't think he knows that, though, until
No,
that
no.
day, probably, right?
created-
She was blonde.
created a pandemic, so.
Oh,
Tony is
You cannot say
top
what you
line
said.
accusation.
I was
Do
just
not
like, let
stand by
everybody know
that.
that we do not agree with what the character that is Tone Diggs, the hammer down cowboy, just came out of his mouth. That was not scripted by anybody else. That was not.
Yeah.
But I will say he is echoing the sentiment of other people that are in potentially same vein as the character as COVID cowboy Tone Diggs.
Bob Ritchie, if he's watching, just stood up on his couch hearing that from Tony.
Kid Rock did too.
Yeah, both of them.
Let's go to the phones. He's in Indiana tomorrow.
Yep, that's right.
Where's he playing?
Tomorrow night, Indiana's feeling.
Yeah.
Sold out Lucas Oil.
Yeah, they're seeing that tomorrow. I have seen the Kid Rock experience in Indiana before, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That was the story that I told where at 10:59 he came on and he said, they told me that if I play past 11 p.m., I'm getting fined like $500,000 a minute or something like that. I told him, my name is Kid. And he carried this kid for like what seemed to be maybe 90 seconds. And then they did ball with the ball, and then they walked off. I'm like, You literally did that for one song. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I respect the hell out of that.
million.
Hey, we're going to pay $1.5 million. We ain't going to pay more than that. We will have a statement ball with the ball. You don't tell Kid Rock what to do, but we are going to get out of here, too. It was a hell of a night. A lot of people very intoxicated.
Oh, I can
course.
imagine.
Kids
Where's he playing? What kind of venues?
Lucas Oil.
I don't know if it's that.
It is.
it?
Sell out. Yeah.
Just him, no other acts? Just
him.
Kid?
No, he's at Ruoff. He's at
Kid
the same,
Unfiltered, 4 hours.
100,000
He's at the
people.
same place fucking ZBB was.
It's going to be bigger than Live Aid.
Oh. Is he doing a TED Talk, too?
That'd be sweet.
I don't know. I assume there's going to be some conversations had by old Kid Rock in the middle of his performance. ZBB, Zach Brown, there was numerous times I turned around.
Yeah.
There might be like 7,000 people in that place.
least.
6,000. It's huge.
Packed.
Huge. Packed.
Is it an amphitheater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably more. I mean, a lot of, like, the amphitheater is like 10 or 12, a lot of them.
Really?
Was there grass?
That
Is there
thing was
lawn
full.
seating?
Now it says it holds 25,000,
Holy fuck. That's the biggest.
and the whole
Is it,
lawn, the
is it
whole
seats
lawn,
and then lawn?
yeah,
Yeah.
the whole lawn was full.
20,000
jam people in the
fucking
lawn.
people were in there?
That's
I could
so
see that.
many.
There were so many people.
It was jam-packed, too. Whatever the max is. That he
So
had.
there's 6,000 seats, and then the lawn is said to hold 18,000.
That lawn does not hold 18,000.
Definitely.
No way.
Not a chance.
Who gets
Standing up.
Not a
Well, why
chance.
would they lie if that's how many? Like,
They're selling that many tickets. There's definitely 20,000 people.
Kid don't know how many tickets he sells.
Foreigner is opening for Kid.
look at that.
Oh,
Zoom
yeah,
in.
that's a full-blown, yeah.
Fucking Journey.
Is that
damn.
Zach or is that just any other concert?
Any concert, I don't know.
That's probably Zach.
Yeah.
Dave comes every year. It's like that. I mean, like,
Yeah, that's like all the,
that
like,
poop out of
yeah.
there.
I grew up going to shows at amphitheaters like that in Ohio.
it's packed out.
that was
I mean,
awesome.
absolutely
God
packed
damn.
out. 20-some thousand. So that's good business to come do that. Because I always like wondered why Zach didn't do the fucking arena here. Like, why don't you do arena? And I talked to the people at the arena. Tried to.
You got to rent it, right?
Well, it's a whole thing. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
whole thing. But the amphitheater, if you're getting
That's also-
20,000
yeah,
people,
That's
And the
much
outside,
more than the,
the
arena.
outside feel is just.
it's a
So much
good
better.
vibes.
Weather. is
Now,
on.
granted, they're selling like 40,000 tickets every single show at that place.
Right.
Only available for 20,000. They're selling them 3-4 times a piece.
True.
Us bouncing around from suite to suite, noticing that we got fucked was a wild scene. You know, wild scene. But a great night. Fucking great evening over there. Zach killed it.
Yeah, he's so good live.
Kid Rock's
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think he's good? Fucking, I know what you're doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, SmackDown.
I'll
Well,
be
not
there.
you. I'm saying this
Yeah, I'll be
guy.
there. Better put a fucking
You're
picture.
tailgating, aren't you?
Yeah. Kidding me? Been planning on this.
You think he
for-
play? What do you think he plays? You
New
think-
album.
That's
Yeah.
it.
New
the people. He plays the hits.
Yeah,
And
he
he
plays
starts-
the hits, but he's definitely playing the new album as well.
What if he is on an actual rocket tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's shaped like a penis, middle finger. I'm sorry, like a middle finger, and he's going up over the amphitheater, all over top of them all.
You want to make some money? Get a pop-up Buck Fiden T-shirt thing going. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I believe before every song.
Buck Fiden. You been sitting on that one?
No, I like legit. I think I've seen pictures of people at his
might
just
sell a few
everywhere.
there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, like that's an actual business motto.
When I was in Nashville, they're basically handing them out on the streets.
I saw a couple of Zach Brown.
Fuck you, fighting. There might
Well,
be
I think that was.
No, I know.
Yeah.
They are actually requiring that chant to be started before he comes out.
How about how emotionally attached to politics people actually get?
Oh,
crazy.
my God.
Oh, really? I don't notice that. Really?
People get so like, hey, I hate to break to everybody. I don't think anybody's going to be able to change anything. How about that? I understand.
Check
why.
out Keith Oldman's Twitter again if you want. If you want to see people getting angry, that dude is always mad.
Dogs?
What
Okay.
you guys talk about? You guys aren't serious about it?
Dogs, cats.
Well, I'm just listen. I don't know that world enough, but I do know that it has captured a couple people in my sphere. You know, my former teammates, friends, people that I've encountered throughout my journey of this dumbass life, and I've just seen on social them get completely like this is their just completely boom. And it's like, motherfucker, you and me have never read a book before, but now you're ready to go like all in. And then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, old Fred, same group going in the other way. And it's like, damn, like, I hate that this is what it's come to for these particular group of people, but I respect the fact that they found something that they actually believe they're changing the world with. And I don't know if anybody's going to succeed, but in the end, at least half y'all motherfuckers are going to be disappointed in everything, I think. And it's tough for me to kind of dive into. I'm like, why would you sign up for that?
It's exhausting. What do you mean? Like if like the people I know, like buddies that I have, or that are all in whatever side they may be on, and I can't have a real conversation with them, I'm like, all right, man, like I'm happy you found something you care about, but I'm not going to be talking to you for a while.
I've given the "I'm proud of you" speech to so many different
condescending.
So many political parties at this point. It is a bit condescending, but why are you even? You know, I'm a fucking doofus. Why are you even talking to me about this? Like, man, you're going to change it too. Like that's always my go-to. Like, I like that. Like, so what are we doing to make it better? You think? Well, that's on my job. Okay.
Okay.
All right, hey, respect, dude. Well, I appreciate you telling me, man. And then somebody from the complete opposite end of the spectrum, same exact situation. Somehow, complete opposite way. Just as committed and sold and laying out and thinking they're going to change the world. I mean, I'm so proud of you, man. Yeah, you're going to do it. Now, I know that you do have some opposition. I'm just going to let you know that. I was talking to him just yesterday, actually. But you guys are good. Good luck. Fight a good, hard-fought battle out there. And I think ultimately you're going to look back and say, that was good use of my time. So good luck out there. Proud of you. And let's enjoy this life, huh? You don't know when you're going to die. Let's enjoy this life. That has been, I think, kind of all of us that are trying to stay out of it for the last few years, and it's only intensifying, I think. It's only getting bigger and bigger.
It's just hard to care when you don't care your entire time. Like, I think I know people similar who kind of, eventually get into it, but, like, if you've made it this far without being in it, how do you just wake up one day?
Because you're changing the world, dude.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
If you've experienced what life was like before that, though, and not having to bark back and forth or care, how do you want to go into it?
So, but we're not good members of society though, because we don't care. Like that's what I get told. Like, well, you're.
Oh yeah,
You're being.
They can justify it.
You're being irresponsible. Me, motherfucker, you don't know anything you're talking about. What do you even? What?
Yeah.
I'm at least open and saying I don't know. You have no fucking idea. Oh, you don't think I know? Well, let me bring in this guy. Hey, you two can battle on who knows more. And then, by the way, both of you will stand here immediately afterwards, and nothing has changed. Okay, and then you just go your separate ways. That's what politics is.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's funny, listening to AJ, the biggest hypocrite in the room. And we know what this guy was doing on January 6th, and he's up here acting.
It's his birthday.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Celebrating my birthday at home.
Oh yeah.
Happy
birthday, AJ.
Wow.
Hey, what day are we doing this?
Yeah.
Well,
You were yelling charge, bro.
My birthday's January 6th. Wow,
Let's type it like that.
That'd be-
First off, I'm home row all day. I'm not one finger pecking.
Nice.
You know that.
All right, well, way to go. You know that.
Hey, you ruined it though. You can try to put these conspiracy theories out there. I was documented on camera on this program at my house on my birthday because of you. Because you got the alumni band to come play. Thank you.
Do you remember that? That was that same day.
Bob tipped it like 2 hours before it actually happened.
Yeah, Bob sounded like MCDC. Tell you what, man, never had to get a band together for a friend's birthday. Stay tuned for a surprise, man.
Right.
I fucking love General. But there's another thing. Should have maybe been a little bit like, hey, Bob. No need.
Just keep it low.
But on the other side, Bob did something, so I left.
Yep.
That's just
Love Bob.
That's what I do with old Bob. All right, let's get out of here, huh? You think? Catch.
Good day.
I caught it. Didn't fall. It was off the wall. Is that not? Hits the wall. Catch it.
No.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a poll.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is kind
This
of
is
like the
it.
situation
All
we were
right.
just talking about.
So off wall, it is a catch, AJ?
Sure.
No, he didn't know.
This ain't fucking slam ball, pal. You can't.
Hey,
do
it's
it.
back.
It is back.
It is.
What? Who's giving the insurance for that? First of all, and what channel is that going to be on? I will not miss
The
it.
trampoline one?
Is it on
Yes.
Spike?
They're bringing Spike back from the dead. It is all it's going to show.
Who's commentating
And
spike ball? I would
100
like to
ways
put
to
my
die.
name in the running for slam ball.
Mike Greenberg.
Well, all right. I would like to be on. I can't be on sideline.
You could be his color commentator.
Probably Bob Costas.
That'd be sweet.
Bob Costas and Mike O'Malley.
Really.
I think so.
Is Mo coming back?
Mo.
Michael Mellon.
That'd be sweet.
Michael
too.
O'Malley's showrunner now. Michael O'Malley writes shows.
Oh, nice.
Guy hosts Global Guts.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob Riggle and Joe Tessitore, maybe. Get called up.
I got a text about the test shout out the other day, by the way, for
Hell
the
yeah.
Boston College alumni.
Oh, yeah.
Notable Boston College alumni, Joe Tessitore's kid, John.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
Just started his first job the other day. Congratulations.
What's he doing?
Oh, doing something good. He's Boston College alumni.
Come on.
JP Morgan, I think.
Jesuit University.
Probably, actually. JP Morgan. Let's go to the phones before we get out of here. Last question, or last call. Do you want to go to Connecticut or Texas? Compton,
Texas.
Queens,
Anything but
Connecticut, Texas.
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 Sorry about it. go to Sam in Texas. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing good, man. I don't know where I'm at, but I'm doing well. We're driving with my pup across the country, so I have no idea where I am.
Oh, okay, nice. Oh, well.
You got a phone?
Safe journey. There's a lot of maps.
No, I was going to ask you. I want to really, really quick. So I've been listening to a lot of wrestling music. How does the process of getting your theme song work?
Oh.
Like, how does that process? I know Jim Johnston does all the theme songs and stuff. Do you get to work with him directly? And when's your theme song coming out from SummerSlam?
Thank you for the question, Sam. Safe travels with your pup on the cross-country tour. I don't know if you're just living and doing or moving, whatever you're doing. I hope you enjoy the hell out of it. Getting out on the road, experiencing America.
Hell yeah.
That's what I think watching that Madden doc, I was super envious of his ability to want to hop on that bus and go see the country and stop and be on the road for 13, 14 straight days. There's no way I would ever be able to do that. But mentally, I would like to be able to do that. You know what I mean, AJ?
Yeah, you think you might be able to do it for a day or two, right?
Once that 800 pounds of poop starts stacking up in that bus, and we got to dump it on a boat like Dave Matthews Band.
Small shower.
And he starts smelling that whole thing. I'm too spoiled and I'm too soft to do it. Also, confined area, like in that Madden doc, they showed him interacting with people at rest stops and stuff. There's a lot of time where that's not happening. There's a lot of time where you can't even stand up. And I get a little claustrophobic. I get antsy. I mean, everybody sees me stand up, 15 to 16 times a show every single day. So I get a little jacked up. So I am envious of both Kevin from Texas, who just called, Madden, and anybody else that has the chance to do that, because I wish my body would let me do that. Now, maybe one day there'll be enough life behind me that I'll want to just kind of strap it up and travel, but I that's something I would like to do at some point, but right now humanly I could not handle. AJ,
I'm with you. I don't ever want to go anywhere more than 4 days. That's my max trip I would like to go on. Obviously sometimes it's longer, but that's perfect for me.
Yeah, and you take trips every 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
3 weeks or so.
Yeah. I'll probably be on a yacht next week.
You're right, though. Being away too long, I do not love, but I love that he's taking a trip there. The WWE music, fascinating stuff here, because so I was afforded the opportunity to use the White Stripes 7 Nation Army at WrestleMania. And I guess that was a big deal because Jack White never allows anybody to really use it. Everybody knows the 7 Nation Army theme. Everybody sings it at all stadiums. It's normally background track when music is playing because everybody loves that song so much. It's so catchy. And that is one of the greatest riffs of all time, probably. Greatest riff of all time, maybe? I think you could say. Probably most notable. So us getting the rights to use it at WrestleMania was an anomaly and wild. Now, I was told that there was a chance we're going to be able to use it again for SummerSlam. I knew that if that was the case, we'd be incredibly lucky, and that'd be Jack White being very cool about it. For whatever reason, it did not get agreed upon. Very much understand, by the way. Very much understand. Whatever Jack wants to do with the fucking Jack's music, you do whatever you want to do. I respect the whole process. Thank you for even allowing me to do that at WrestleMania. So there was 6 days before SummerSlam, and we found out that we were officially not going to be able to get 7 Nation Army. And they're like, all right, let's put some music together. A guy named Neil, who works at WWE, absolute stallion of a man. I appreciate the hell out of him. He was the connect. I believe he lives in Nashville in the music world. And the guy who put the song, his name's Tony, I think. Tony. So it's Neil and Tony. We started talking. Got a couple songs sent to me that are already in the can. Wasn't really my vibe, I didn't think. So I had to think back. I have a voice memo from 2018, January 27th, 2018. We were thinking about making a new intro at this point for the show, and I wanted it to have a catchy cheer. And obviously, I've been a fan of 7 Nation Army forever, and I think what it does to a place is just fucking electrifying. So I was trying to think of something that maybe had the same capability, but didn't sound the same, just kind of a chant. So from January 27, 2018, in my voice memos thing, this is what I recorded. And I remembered this 6 days before SummerSlam, whenever we found out. This is the sound. This is it. Okay, got to turn the volume up. Okay? Got to turn the volume up on the phone so that people can hear it. But this is what I recorded here, basically. Okay, so that's from 2018. So I was on some vitamins potentially, and as we're trying to figure out what the song was going to be, there was a lot of text back and forth. Hey, we want to make it for you, but we don't have a lot of days, obviously, so we got to kind of figure this out. Let's kind of do this thing. I'm like, God damn, I think I recorded something. I go all the way back 2018. I send it over, and like within one day, this guy Tony went to work and added a choir behind it, added some horns behind it, dressed it up, and they sent it over to me literally within 24 hours. They're like, is this good? And I'm like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. And how do you want to start it? Do you think you should, how do you want to start it? I'm like, I think I should say something. I think I should say something. They're like, well, what do you want to say? You want to say like, it's going Dahn? And they like, I was like, well, don't ever do that again. You know, like, don't ever do that again. So we started it with a, hey, let's go. And then that went right into it. And I thought it was fucking sweet. I was very, very thankful for it. And the way Neil and Tony and the boy and everybody, the way it was all handled. And that was sent to the WWE. The WWE made an entrance video in like literally 15 minutes, almost 20 minutes. Or like, we could potentially do this. And I'm like, thank you all so much for the collaborative effort, for making it like a, what's it mean when something's like important?
Priority.
A priority basically is what they did. And we made it happen. And then the choir shows up, obviously. I said, I think we get a choir behind this thing, right? They were like, yep, fucking right. Get a choir in there. It's like, I was very, very lucky, very, very fortunate for how it was all handled. But yeah, that all came together in a very quick amount of time. Very, very quick amount of time, AJ.
What do you think would have happened if you didn't send them that, though? Like, that's cool that you had the little voice memo from 4 years ago to send them. Like, if they didn't have that, it wouldn't have sounded, who knows what would happen.
I think they would have probably put some stuff together. What am I thinking? What genre of music am I thinking? Anthemic was a word I learned through that entire thing. Do you want it to be anthemic and big? I'm like, yeah, I want people to feel like they're a part of it. I think that'll be good. So I think they would have pieced something together. I think
yeah, they definitely would have. But I mean, it shows you how like talented they are and how they had to be so juiced when you send them that. Like the main like riff of the song, they'd be pretty excited, weren't they?
How about that just in a voice memo, by the way? Sending
that's
it
like
over?
I mean, that's like what John Lennon would have done if he had an iPhone.
Well, yeah.
Paul McCartney's probably doing that now.
Yeah, of course. Me, Paul, John.
Why?
No, but normally you work with some of these people, and it's
terrible?
like, hey, yes. We've given enough speeches
They
about
send
that.
you back stuff that you're like, okay, they don't know me at all.
No, they say, we'll bring in a crew to record what you're saying professionally, and we'll get a microphone, and we'll drop this through audio files or whatever it is. And I send this motherfucker a goddamn voice memo and a text message, and then like 6 hours later, they have an entire like the background of it all is my voice. So then they just kind of build off of that. They build off the whole thing. And it's the hey, let's go, same exact thing. Just send it over via a text message voice memo, put it in there. It's like, this is how it should work. Yes, this is how. Thank you for being efficient. Thank you for not being archaic in the entire thing. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of the build process. And once again, thank you to Jack White for the opportunity to use that song at WrestleMania and have one of the coolest moments of all time. And I'm excited for this one going forward.
Everybody wins.
Feels like
Yeah,
it.
legit.
There's people that were tweeting, 7 Nation Army's better than this. It's like, no shit. No shit, dude. And then there's people like attacking the WWE, like, get McAfee 7 Nation Army. You spend money on other stuff. It's like, I think they were going to.
I tried.
I think they were going to. I even offered up cash too. I was like, do I gotta pay for this? They're like, no, we will. It's our show. But also, like, we just gotta get okayed. Like, it has to get okayed too, which was ultimately the thing. So I appreciate everything. My experience over there has been awesome. The collaborative effort with WWE folks, getting to work with us, I've learned so much. It's
well, they seem to be, from the little bit I've gotten to see from being down there and talking to people, like they, right up until showtime, they're changing everything, right? Like it's always like a fluid situation.
Yeah, there's always a better idea that could come, you know? And then there's always a potential that there's some shit ideas that are going to make the air. Because, I mean, doing 2 shows live on TV a week for like 25 years, every single week, not missing a single week, like there's a chance there's some shit ideas that are going to get in there. But there's some, they don't really give me a script. You know, I don't get a script before the show. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just going out there and doing it. But there'll be some things that I'll be tipped off to beforehand, like, hey, tonight a debut of a new segment. And my initial thought is like, okay, excited to see how this one goes.
Like the most popular male model thing that LA Knight does?
Boom, maximum male models. I was so excited when that showed up on the screen. I was not tipped off about what that was. So as soon as it showed up, literally in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, there has to be something. There has to be something. There has to be something. And I like even mute my mic, go to Cole. I go, is there something? Like, is something coming here, or is this it? He goes, this is it. I go, okay, let me settle into this thing.
Awesome.
This is, I cannot believe this is on Fox right now. There is 3 million people, 2 million people watching this. We get 2 hours a week. This is a part of it. This is awesome that this decision was made. In my head, I'm like, this is fucking awesome that this decision was like, yep, this is what we need to do. And I was like, let's go all in. And I did. I was like, this is, how many more opportunities am I going to have to talk about somebody walking the fucking catwalk, you know, in ridiculous shit with a guy talking about it as if it is the greatest of fashion designs. Like that's something, no offense to this show, I can never get in this show. And I use a completely different part of my brain. I mean, even that music part of it, WWE allows me to use so much more like of my brain, I think. And it's been a beautiful balance for me. I'm very, very fortunate for it. Very, very fortunate for it.
Don't you think you and Michael Cole, that's a huge part of it. Like the relationship you guys have, I think, shows on air. Like
Well,
you
he's
guys
a
get
mark.
along and you can mess with each other.
Come on. AJ, wake up.
Yeah, I think Cole gets me a little bit. And also, Cole's so talented that we can go in there with me having no idea what's going to happen, and then he can get it back on, well, idiot. That's because last week this happened. It's like, oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that. Like, Cole is the consummate professional. He can get us through anything, basically, because of it being there for 25 years. And I think he gets me a little bit. I think he understands me more, because he is a broadcast suit. You know, he went to Syracuse, did the whole thing. But I think he gets me a little bit more than most of the suits that would be in a similar class of brain that he has. And I appreciate that. And also, although he's from New York, that dude, drinks Pabst.
Yeah, he's the man.
Chews. He's just, you know.
What, missed 2 days in 25 years?
Dresses like a jackass. Yeah, 2 days and 20. Dresses like a jackass day to day. Has so much money.
Jets fan.
Jets fan, loves misery. Mets fan. We're going to the World
Which is
Series
good.
together. Yeah, I love Michael Cole. He's so talented, and he's a human, which I think is awesome.
I mean, it's a pretty unique gig he has, too, compared to, like, people that he may have been in Benghazi with, reporting live from the front lines.
Bolivia.
I think he's not exactly ever chatted about as a real play-by-play guy in the sports world. You know, because it's like...
Yeah, is he? I don't know.
He never is. They never judge him. Nobody ever talks about, like, we don't even dive into, like, putting Michael Cole in there. No. There was a run, I think, for like 10 years I was watching that fucking guy where he wouldn't even flub a word. And it's like he's talking about things so fast, he has to sell some shit on there. Like there's some stuff that just is not working, and they're going to either find out that week or the week after, but Cole still has to go in there. And his energy is always there. He's able to speak in fantastic fashion, and he's able to guide through stuff that's not supposed to make sense for people. It's just... He needs a lot more respect, I think, for people. And I hope we can hopefully open that door a little bit. And with that being said, just like Michael Cole, we're going to fucking, as soon as the show's over, we're going to get out of here. Michael Cole, as soon as that show is over, as soon as we were off air,
out.
That headset is off. That thing is out there. His ear things are out, and he is directly side stage. I have no idea what's happening afterwards. I don't know if they're coming through this table, if there's more shit. We are getting out of this arena as fast as possible. It is awesome. Like the first day I was there, I was like, let's have a good time. That was a good show or whatever. And I was like, keeping it like, oh, fuck, we are out of here. Okay, here we go. We are gone. He's amazing. We are out of here as well. Hammer Down will be coming up here in a few minutes at youtube.com/Hammer Down. Preseason games tonight. I appreciate that question. That was a lot of chatter about WWE stuff, but WWE will probably be interested to hear how that all works if I had to guess. Cool. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a better show and a Feel Good Friday before I travel to Raleigh, North Carolina. Is that where the Caniacs are at?
I think they are in Raleigh. Yeah.
Are we in the Caniacs building tomorrow?
Probably. PNC.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Brother.
What's up, bro?
Might have to ring that bell. Yeah. Horn, whatever the fuck it is.
Ooh. Bill Cowher did it against the Pens. I ain't never touching that fucking thing. We're
Hell
back
yeah.
tomorrow. We'll see you then. Goodbye.